Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Hello, sports gamers, and welcome back to another broadcast of the ECL Pro Spotlight. My name is Sin, joined today by B Major and Brandon. We got some great matchups on our hands today. The first one being, of course, GIFU Hockey taking on the Athletic Bulls. One team in a playoff position, the other one not so much.
Yeah, four really fun stories and teams that we're going to see today, Sid, and especially in this first matchup, like you mentioned, two teams that trying to get into that playoff spot. GIFU on the positive side of that, while for Athletic Bulls, a lot of work to do if they want to try to find their way into that conversation. Maybe too little too late, but still want to try to wrap up your season in a positive way. A lot of talent we're going to see on the ice here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And a huge opportunity for GIFU to earn the kind of points to solidify that playoff position, of course. And see if we could take a quick look at the standings here if we do have that graphic available so people can get an idea just what's happening. And there they are indeed in that 7th seed GIFU Hockey, 45 points. However, nothing is set in stone. One team just 1 point behind them. Another one sitting just on the outside. That's Serutalia with 43 points. So GIFU needs to pick up these points right here desperately because, you know, anything can happen. But, you know, for them, they got to be feeling pretty good as the Athletic Bulls are on the lower part of that right-hand side.
Yeah, I don't think that the Athletic Bulls per se really are going to worry GIFU Hockey too much. And the big thing for them is the fact that if they can pick up points here in these two games, it sets them up in a pretty good position. I think that the team that GIFU Hockey really is going to be keeping an eye on the most has to be Deadly Phantoms at 10. Deadly Phantoms, a team that I think many are surprised to see on the right side of this board. They've been a championship contender for seemingly years now, not even just seasons, but for years. They've been a contender here in this division. Really shocking to see them on the right side of this board, not in the playoffs, but they do have the two games in hand over GIFU Hockey. And remember, Sin, with this new point structure, if Deadly Phantoms wins those two games, all of a sudden a 7-point gap becomes 1 point. So GIFU Hockey has to find a way to get some points here because a Deadly Phantoms team trying to scratch and claw their way on the right side, and Renascore currently as well with games in hand over GIFU and Deadly Phantoms. Really important here for GIFU to steal points. You have to do so against these non-playoff teams. This is a massive opportunity for them.
Yeah, and on that flip side, Athletic Bulls, I mean, they do have enough games in hand to work themselves out of potential relegation positions as well. But, you know, they're a tough task tonight taking on GIFU Hockey, of course, as we'll take a look at the team stats for this matchup coming up between GIFU and Athletic Bulls. And you can kind of see the story right there. GIFU, that positive goal differential, a solid power play, penalty kill could use perhaps a little bit of work. And where Athletic Bulls comes in, they just, you know, they're not able to get the goal scoring going, Brandon.
Yeah, and that's going to be a scary sight for Athletic Bulls because they're going up against a GIFU team that's second in the entire pro division in goals allowed per game and first in group number 1. So for a team that already has come in struggling to score goals, you go in and you match up against arguably the best defensive team in the pro division all season long. So it's going to be interesting to see where that comes in. But the thing for GIFU is I really want to see if they can tap into that scoring just a little bit more. They haven't been bad, 2.65 goals per game, but I feel like this is an opportunity against the Athletic Bulls team that is not bad defensively. I know that they've maybe struggled a little bit in terms of the overall stats, but they're not a bad defensive team. I think this could be an opportunity for them to try to get that goal scoring going just a little bit, especially considering the small amount of games that they have left before the playoffs.
Yeah, so we'll take a look now at the lineups for these two teams and see who's going to be hitting the ice here. And on the side of GIFU, you have Raigs, Segastormi, and Getomasi up front. And on the back end, you have Sluibaya, your boy, and between the pipes is Sundström. And on the side of Athletic Bulls, a lot of new faces kind of making debuts here. As you can see, they're just trying to figure something out that's going to work. They have Jokes up front with Dansk and Strandis, and on the back end, Punisher plays and Clotten in between the pipes is Lidman. Both Lidman and Yokes making their debuts here for the season. So you can see just what the Athletic Bulls are trying to do, trying to find some kind of spark, some kind of lineup that's going to work and get them out of the position that they find them in. So we'll go through the individual matchup comparisons now, starting as we do with the center comparison. Now, Donsk hasn't been too bad. He's played every single game with the Athletic Bulls, and with 25 points, I mean, that's really not bad at all. And going up against Sega Storm, he's actually scoring at a higher rate than the opposing center, and something we didn't necessarily expect to see.
Yeah, and remember, Sega Stormy, he's a guy that has been in the pro division for a long time, very experienced centerman that can play a good two-way game. So for Dansk to be in that position to where he not only is up there with Sega Stormy, but is really outpacing him with the way that these games have worked, really impressive for him. I think that's going to be a fun matchup to watch out for. Something especially that I'm going to keep an eye on too, that face-off percentage, pretty much even, 52.8% for Sega Stormy, 52.4% for Dansk. And we've seen so many times, especially when we called these games a couple of weeks ago, how big the face-offs can be in those critical situations when you're in the offensive zone with a chance to score, or when you're in the defensive zone, especially with the addition of full pressure in NHL 24. So face-offs going to be something I'm really looking out for. Maybe that could be what separates these two that are so even.
Taking a look now at the winger comparisons, of course, next on our docket here. And on the side of GIFU, you can see this is where the most of their offense is coming from. Rags with a 2-point per game pace, Geromasi just below that, but both of them great goal scorers and put up assists as well. And interested to see how Yokes is going to do slotting in to this Athletic Bulls lineup as well.
Yeah, and I think that's really the story. What can Yokes do? Is he going to be able to find his way in with his first official game with this team? Obviously, these guys all play and practice together, but I'm really interested to see how he fits in with this lineup, with this being his first game. While on the other side, how about Riggs? 27 goals on 93 shots. He's a guy that is really going to put the puck on them. That's going to be interesting against a team in the Athletic Bulls that, like we said, not bad defensively, but just not have lived up to that potential that we've seen in them so far this season. Then next to him, you have Geromasi, who is more of the efficient scorer. 61 shots, he scored 23 goals so far on all of those attempts. Also is a big hitter too with those 101 hits. So a lot to think about if you're Athletic Bulls. A lot of what GIFU hockey is good at comes from those two wingers right there offensively. They're going to have their hands full with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And take a look now at the defensive pairings for these two teams, of course. And again, you're going to kind of see what's been some of the issue when it comes to the Athletic Bulls. They just don't have enough scoring up and down the lineup. Donsk at the center position is their top scorer. Not often you see that from the centerman. And on the flip side, your boy's done fantastic in the small sample size that he's played in those 6 games. 10 points, Brandon.
Yeah, and not only that, but he has 3 block shots as well. So not only is he showing that he is plenty capable on the offensive end, but he's stepping up on the defensive end as well. And your boy, he's a guy that I've covered before. He is a very, very solid player. Played with Paistelanska, played with Bastu a little bit. He hasn't always been on the best teams in the past, but typically when you get talent around him, he's a guy that can drive plays. And we saw that with him in his light division career. Really cool to see him step up here with a GIFU hockey team that over the years has looked for a little bit more of offensive punch, especially from that back end in terms of getting the play started. He has fit in seamlessly so far with this GIFU team. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do if they make the playoffs, what they do with that lineup, because I think he's had to make a case to get into the top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see if he's going to continue to be their guy, as you said, in the playoffs. And we'll take a look at the last comparison here, of course, the men between the pipes. The goaltender duel, and of course, Lidman, nothing so far. He's slotting in for the first time on this Athletic Bulls team, so not much to talk about with him. But when you look at Sundström's numbers, I mean, goodness, he has been a wall.
Yeah, I mean, arguably the best goalie in the pro division this year. I don't think anyone would really debate you too much if you were to say that. I mean, an 87 save percentage, a 1.69 goals against average. I mean, this is a guy that, as we mentioned, is playing for a GIFU team that, yes, is very solid defensively, has that second best goals allowed per game, but it takes goaltending too. There's not going to be every single play to where your defense is going to be able to step up and make a play. You have to have a goalie back there that you can trust to make that big time save when you really needed. And you look at Sundstrom, he's been a guy that has stepped up. He actually has the highest save percentage of any goalie in the pro division that's played more than 5 games. Athletic Bulls are going to have to find some way to break him and some way to make him uncomfortable. It might not be with the prettiest plays, but if you have to find a way, you have to try to do it. So it's going to be interesting to see how they solve the riddle that's been Sundstrom so far all season long.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key, I think, for the Athletic Bulls is just don't look for anything too pretty. Of course, when you're struggling to score, I think it's just for them. It's just got to be every single shot they got to put on him. Go for rebounds. If he's going to make the first save, make sure you're the first one to that loose puck. And you never know sometimes if you get traffic in front, deflections being what they are, just sometimes you can, with good aim, you could just slide one by a goalie. We saw an incredible snipe yesterday in the elite division from the corner where the goaltender's in perfect position, but a perfect shot can beat him. So I really think that's got to be Athletic Bulls' strategy here, is just to pepper him with shots.
And what's going to be interesting, Sin, Athletic Bulls coming into the day last in the league in shots. They've only taken 190 in 18 total games. The next closest is Sololanch with 213 in 22 games. So obviously that game differential does make a difference, but even on the averages, they would be one of the last teams in the league in terms of shot per game. So Athletic Bulls, a team that have not necessarily done the best job of giving themselves opportunities, going to have to try to make that an emphasis here today, especially when you have a goalie that is going to make more saves than he isn't. So going to be a lot of fun to see how they adjust to that and if they make that potential change right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you got to think, team who's been struggling to produce some of the offense, perhaps some of it is a lack of zone time too. So it's going to be kind of a balance between being able to get that cycle going and peppering, pouring shots on. You got to make sure that you can, get to those rebounds and things as well. So a balance is going to have to be found here for the Athletic Bulls to really be able to give GIFU a run for their money, who is at this point sitting in that playoff position, of course. But here we are. The teams have been matched up here, and I'm seeing at least one sniper there on the side of GIFU rocking that gold 1T, and yeah, not too sure. I'm seeing magnetic for a puck-moving defenseman, and you don't often see that, Brandon.
Yeah, kind of rare. Although, I like when you see some of those differing traits out there. And a lot of times we've seen to where there's the meta builds that players will kind of gravitate to. But sometimes you have a specific play style, you have a specific role on a team. You kind of alternate what your trait is based off of that. So going to be interesting to see how that impacts both of these two sides.
And also, don't forget, guys, tomorrow we are back to Elite Division action. This is, of course, the last week of coverage, of the regular season coverage, I should say, of the ECL, Mayhems and Tunnel Vision. And then a little bit later, Jyväskylä will be taking on H-Reds, and that's a matchup you're not going to want to miss. Jyväskylä, maybe to a lot of surprise, find themselves amongst that top 4 H-Reds. You got to expect them to be up there as well. Yesterday, when we checked the standings, they were just on the outside of that, but plenty of games in hand for them. But we turn our attention now to Pro Division action. Athletic Bulls and GIFU going head-to-head here as your boy sends one on. GIFU getting a chance early. Ghetto Masi with a in-tight opportunity off the rebound. They're getting to work. A huge one-time by Rags, but stopped.
We just talked about there, Sid, that gold 1T. That's what activated potentially there on that play.
And that's a dangerous pass right there. Coming back the other way, GIFU. Ghetto Masi hits the post. Lidman will play that one out. And Athletic Bulls just trying to get this one out of their end. No pass right there. Strandis was just on an island right there with the puck. He has it again once more, heading through the neutral zone. Yoke sends that one down low. Strandis behind the net has that one stripped away, and Athletic Bulls just haven't been able to get anything going. Rags coming in, drop pass to Sega Sormi, another one-time look, that one off the side of the cage, and dangerously bouncing to the front of the net, and this time Lidman will cover.
Welcome to the team, Lidman. He has had to be very active so far, really early in this game. Almost a pitch-perfect start, it feels like, for GIFU. Multiple opportunities, a couple to where you thought they would have scored. Very fortunate, I feel like, for Athletic Bulls to still be tied in this game with the way this first 5 minutes has gone.
Another near chance right there, and Ghetto Masi will pick it up in the corner here. Looking to get to work, fed up to the top. Got to be careful, and that'll lead to an offside. But GIFU, I'm sure, okay with that result, as the alternative was a breakaway.
Yeah, and the one thing you hate to see if you're Gifu is you have all this momentum, you're dominating on the offensive end, and one bad decision, passing it up to the point, causes a turnover and leads to a goal on the other end. So I think if you're Gifu, definitely the lesser of the two evils there to take that offsides for the face-off.
Athletic Bulls now trying to work a breakout, but all kinds of pressure from Gifu. They force that turnover and they have full pressure. And boy, sends it over to Rags, who goes back down low. Ghetto Masi has it in front. Segasormi can't quite get the shot away. Now Slubaya on the point. Rags with another one-time shot on. Bump in front. That will lead to a delayed penalty. Athletic Bulls will be going to the power play as soon as Gifu touches this puck up. Athletic Bulls just trying to get some stamina back, but the touch is made. And sitting in the box, 4-2. I think that was Sega Stormy at least, taking that penalty. So we'll have a power play for the Athletic Bulls.
It was, and that's big because it means that Ghetto Masi is going to have to step up and take the face-off here in the defensive zone for Gifu Hockey. But that penalty felt like exactly what the doctor ordered for Athletic Bulls. Not a lot going for them offensively, hemmed in the defensive zone. Gifu Hockey with full pressure, and they get the puck and immediately draw a penalty. That could really lead to positive momentum for a team that struggled to find it here so far in the early going.
And the unfortunate thing for the Athletic Bulls, their stamina bars were still so drained after that pressure. They do have that back, but a turnover at the blue line. Rags coming back the other way. Drop pass back, and Slipaya's shot goes about a mile wide there. But still in the corner now. Rags just killing tons of time. His pass up the boards, though, intercepted by Strandis. His pass goes awry. Athletic Bulls trying to chase this down, but nothing much going for them on this power play so far. Punisher with the puck now, trying to just work that into the zone so Athletic Bulls can get something going. Strandis now back to one-timer from Punisher. Doesn't make its way towards the net, and that will do it for the man advantage, not the power play that Athletic Bulls would have liked. We'll see what they could do now. Back to 5-on-5. Big hit in the neutral zone, and Gifu has possession once more. Punisher now in his own end after the puck was played by the goaltender Lidman. Claughton feeds it up. Strandis with some space. Cuts to the middle. His shot! Saved by Sundström.
Nice save by Sundström. We knew he was going to make some of those here in this game, and I like the shot there for Athletic Bulls, a team that, as we mentioned, has struggled to get shots on net all season long, last in the league in shots on net, struggled to do so in this game, really have struggled to even get opportunity. First thing you do when you get into the zone, you get that little bit of space, you put it on net. I like that decision there. They're going to need more of that.
Tie up on the draw. Gifu will come up to it. Masi over to Rags. His saucer pass just doesn't hit Masi, but he gets a nice bump. Can't quite retrieve the puck, but the forecheck turns it over anyway. Your boy up in the play. His shot deflected and goes over the back glass.
And how active has your boy been here early in this game for Gifu Hockey? Feels like whenever he has the puck on his stick, something good happens for this team offensively. Talked about him with 10 points in 6 games. You're seeing some of why right now here early.
Good face-off win for Gifu once more. Shot from the point goes through, but a good pad save by Lidman. One-timer now deflected in front. May have clipped the post. And Athletic Bulls trying to just stem the bleeding here and get it out of their own end. Yolks over to the center. Donsk goes over to Punisher, who will gain the line and send it in deep, but the right wing not in possession to take it, but a good forecheck. He'll turn that one over. But Yolks' shot gets intercepted. And Gifu comes back the other way. Your boy activating once again. Stops back on the line. Has to be careful, though. Athletic Bulls coming back the other way after the turnover. Yolks from behind the net. Taking his time with it. Has his winger partner there with him. His pass goes off the back of the cage. And your boy's slap pass down the blue line. But Masi is offside.
Yeah, and something I've noticed here, Sim, we've seen a couple of times now where Gifu Hockey has nearly turned the puck over in the offensive zone at that blue line when they've passed it up to the point. That's something that the Athletic Bulls can maybe pounce on if they keep going for that and being aggressive defending over at that point area. Could lead to a turnover here if they keep doing it.
Your boy with the puck now. His pass hits off a skate, and he'll have to recollect now for Gifu. Sega now, 5 seconds remaining. His pass intercepted, but a good job of boxing out Yolks, and that will do it for the first period. No score, but plenty of chances on the side of Gifu Hockey. Athletic Bulls had one really good shot that tested Sundström. But since then, and well before then, really, Gifu Hockey has been all over them.
Yeah, it's been all Gifu, it feels like, in that first 20 minutes. And you have to give them a lot of credit because they really came out from the opening puck drop and were really dominating most of the possession and most of the shots on net so far in this game. And I think when you look at the stats, it will more than likely reflect that. And yeah, that's exactly what we got. One shot on net in a minute and 20 seconds of time on attack for Athletic Bulls. 8 shots on net in over 3 minutes of time on attack for Gifu Hockey. But something I don't think can get lost here so far in this game, Sid, give a lot of credit to Lidman, a guy that has yet to play so far this season at that goalie position, has only played 4 games in his career at goalie. That was with Jer Gordon Hockey last spring season. He went 1-3 in 4 games, but did have a 79 save percentage. So impressive for a guy that is playing out of position to really step up and make an impact so far for his team.
So we'll see what happens here in the second period. Still looking for the first goal of the game. Credit where it's due, Lidman has had to make some tough stops here. Here comes Gifu once again. That puck just bounces out of the zone. Your boy couldn't get it, but he and his defensive partner, Sluibaya, orchestrating the breakout. Sega Sorme trying to get that one in. And Athletic Bulls, that will lead to an icing as Yokes couldn't connect with his winger partner, Strandis.
Yeah, and I feel like right now you just have to wonder if you're Athletic Bulls, what do we have to do to get into the zone and start creating something? They just have not been able to break in and to even start a cycle, and that's where you have to start things out.
One time blocked in front. And Athletic Bulls really got to be thinking they're lucky stars. They're not down in this game. Claughton joining the rush now. Takes it into the corner. Buying some time. Yokes has it now. Back to the point. Punisher's shot on. Sundström will make that glove save and hold on to it as we get some physicality after the whistle.
And it looked like maybe Donsk might have been going for a bit of a tip there. I'm not sure if he actually got a piece of that, but it looked like that was something the Athletic Bulls were trying to set up. We talked about that, Sid. You can't get pretty against this team. Have to try to find a way to those dirty and gritty goals to beat Sundström.
GIFU now looking for another zone entry. They do it cleanly. Rags has the puck and drops it back. Your boy on the point. His shot trying to get through traffic. Sega Stormy looked like he thought about the shot and attempted a pass, but it skittered all the way out of the zone. He'll be forced to try it to re-entry. Masi now trying to battle with Yokes, but Yokes got the better of it. He has the puck now. Pass into Strandis. Nice toe drag into the slot. Trying to just bully his way through and force that through the 5-hole. But Sundström keeps that one out. Masi has it in possession once again. Slowed up at the blue line. Drops it back to your boy. And Sluibaya does gain the line. Masi now over to Rags in a big save by Lidman. He has had to be sharp in this one. That one off the post here. Masi now behind the net. Rags. GIFU all over Athletic Bulls. They get the puck once again off a turnover down low. Intercepted by Claughton. He'll finally be able to get that puck out, but his pass to the centerman gets intercepted once more. The clamps coming down onto Athletic Bulls, and Lidman will pause just for a breath.
Yeah, and I don't blame him one bit. He just bailed his team out with one massive save a little bit over a minute ago, and right after he feels like he's going to be able to catch his breath, GIFU Hockey creates a turnover and comes right back at him in the offensive zone. And keep this in mind, Tucson, GIFU Hockey very, very close to full pressure here, something that we already saw them nearly capitalize on earlier.
Punisher's able to get that off the face-off tie-up. That's good for Athletic Bulls. They've been struggling to win draws in this game so far. Claughton's pass intercepted by Masi. Here he comes back the other way. Looking, trying to force that middle. Goes to Sega Sormi, who scoots it just wide. Rags now with a shot that's blocked. Strandri's trying to work it out, but an excellent defensive skill stick from Sega Stormy will bring it back the other way. Sluibaya's pass to Masi. He tries to go back to the middle, taken away, but Masi has it, tries for the short side. Saved by Lidman, but a penalty coming up once again. Interference to GIFU.
Wow, and if you're GIFU, you just have to wonder, what do we have to do to buy one here? I mean, we're getting opportunities, we're dominating the time of possession in this game, we just cannot seem to get one in the net, and all of that, and you end up taking a quick, cheap penalty in front of the net as you were really starting to get things going offensively. So for Athletic Bulls, feels like an opportunity that they really have to capitalize on. GIFU makes a mistake, you weathered the storm there on that chance, now you have to bury one to give yourself the lead and to get that momentum on your side.
Another huge face-off win for Sega Stormy there. Athletic Bulls will have to try to re-enter, but the pass right to Masi's stick. Yokes has it back now for Athletic Bulls. They do gain the line. Good move there by Strandis. He'll take that one, go down low to Yokes. One-time shot from the point that Sundstrom reads and gets the glove on.
Yeah, I like that cycle there for Athletic Bulls, just trying to find the first clear shot that they can, and then Clauden puts it on net. Maybe didn't have the strength on that one-timer that he ideally would have liked, but nevertheless, you get a good shot on net, you get a face-off, but you have to find a way to win it.
Punisher has it back on the point now, taking it towards the half wall, goes to Yokes, and they do a little bit of a give-and-go play. Punisher trying to get to that middle, but two GIFU players guarding the man in the slot, and that one gets blown up quickly. Clauden's pass once again intercepted, but Yokes gets it back off the hop, sends it in deep, but no one home. Rags coming back the other way. Man out of the box for GIFU. Good poke in the neutral zone, but Dons just can't turn that around quickly. Had a man in support for that pass if he was able to settle that puck. Clauden now working with his defensive partner to orchestrate a breakout. They get it to Yokes. Nice L-skate move all along the boards, but taken away once again. There's just no time and space. Rags able to power his way through. Tries a quick, believe that was a shot that hit the side of the net. May have been a pass. Your boy shot from distance there. Clauden gets it off the one hop. Sormy now with the puck has it stripped away. Clauden coming back the other way for Athletic Bulls. Just speed down the boards. Trying to feed the middle there. Bounces in front towards Sundstrom, but it stays out. Rags hits slid by a puck loose and they score! The initial save made by Lidman, but he couldn't control the rebound, and Rags taps it home.
And GIFU, after all of the chances, are finally able to put one in the net. And boy, oh boy, is it good that they did, because it felt like Athletic Bulls were starting to find something there. That original shot on net there just kind of squeaked his way past on the rebound. Lidman made the beautiful initial save, but nothing he could do. His goalie is laying down. The puck is behind him. Really, all Riggs had to do was to kind of go in and hope he could get there. Was able to do so cleanly. Not enough traffic in front of him to avoid him crashing the net. And GIFU Hockey, after all those chances, finally find their first score.
Get right back into the zone, but it's quickly taken away by the Athletic Bulls. Yokes has that one poked, and Matsi coming back the other way, realizes he doesn't have the lane, will back up and reset in the neutral zone. His next pass gets intercepted. Yokes gets drilled in the neutral zone on the attempted counterattack from Athletic Bulls. Matsi gets hit in return. It's a bit of a neutral zone war. Leads to the end of the second period, so we find our first goal of the game. GIFU getting it at long last, and it wasn't easy to beat Lidman, and it was no easy task on that goal either.
No, not at all. And I mean, they really didn't beat Lidman necessarily. It was just the initial opportunity found its way to a really nice spot there for GIFU Hockey. So if you're Lidman, you can't really feel too bad about the one goal you let up. It was a rebound that slid behind your goalie, and your goalie was sitting down to where you couldn't really do anything about it. But nevertheless, GIFU Hockey, they're not going to complain. They've earned this lead, and 13 shots on net. They've had all of the time on attack. It feels like in this game, they've definitely been the better team through 40 minutes. You honestly feel like if it's not for Lidman, this game could easily be 3-0 or 4-0 in favor of GIFU Hockey. So I think for Athletic Bulls, you have to honestly be pleased that you're even in a one-goal game situation, but you've got to find your way to some offense if you want any chance to find your way back in it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what Athletic Bulls are able to do in response. The good news is they are only down by 1 here, but GIFU right back in on the attack. Rags now trying to find a pass. Mossy circling around from the half wall. What a move! Oh, and a big save by Lidman once again, as Mossy took it upon himself to get a major chance on from in tight. Was absolutely robbed. Athletic Bulls coming back the other way now. Clauden has it stripped away, and here come GIFU once again. Mossy over to his winger partner. His pass goes awry, but Sega Stormy steps up from the point where he was covering. But they're unable to get any further right there. Bad pass. Mossy with another in-tight chance. Saved by Lidman again. Full pressure now for GIFU. Sega Stormy too slowly by his shot. Turned aside by Lidman.
Lidman more like Lid shuts in. He has been nearly unbeatable so far in this game. Athletic Bulls have got to help him out.
Mossy now again trying to get that I think it was a pass away. Maybe it was just poked off his stick. Nonetheless, Athletic Bulls have it. Strandis over to Yokes. Elects not to shoot. Back to the point. Shot from there. Rebound in front. Loose still. Sega Stormy does eventually collect it. And GIFU will break it out of their end. Sluibaya recollects his own pass after it was deflected away. Rags has it behind the net. In front, Masi trying to go for that one time. Had Sluibaya on the other side. Athletic Bulls finally able to relieve the pressure here. Strandis as it pokes away as he tries to cross the blue line. GIFU immediately picks it up. Time becoming a factor here, but it is still a one-goal game. Sega Stormy over to Rags, and he just misses the net. May have clipped the post, but what a one-time chance.
That was the most they've beaten Lidman all night. Rags just not able to put it in. Remember, we talked about that gold 1T ability that he has. It would have been nearly impossible for Lidman to slide over in time to make that save. Just wasn't able to hit the net, though. That was a golden opportunity for GIFU to maybe put this away.
Tie up off the draw. Sega Stormy will come up with it. Masi now. And Rags has it as they gain the line. Trying to feed the middle once more, and another penalty to GIFU. Gotta be careful with these. Getting a little antsy trying to get those shot aways. That's the third interference call that they've taken.
Yeah, and that's a very scary situation for GIFU, considering that Athletic Bulls are only down by one still in this game. And it's funny, it's been different players throughout the game that have taken these penalties for GIFU hockey. Now, all three have been different players that have taken each one. So, Athletic Bulls, this is their golden opportunity. They've got to capitalize here.
Get going, some quick passing to start off. Yokes over there, but not the handedness for the one time, as he's using a left-handed on that left wing side. Actually, all three forwards of Athletic Bulls are lefties, I've just now noticed, so a bit limited in some of their offensive options. But I gotta gain the zone first to be able to start to utilize some of the cycle plays, and GIFU just continue to stand them up. Rags and Sega Stormy trying to keep that one out. Strandis over to Yokes, and oh, by the side of the net, it was sitting there. Sundstrom finally finds it with the glove.
Yeah, and you know, we talked so much about Sundstrom coming into this game. He hasn't really had to be tested too often, but this is arguably the biggest opportunity where he will be tested. Athletic Bulls staying in the zone a little bit more on this power play, getting a couple of shots. Sundstrom gonna have to be sharp.
Rags has that. We'll just send that one away. A few seconds remaining on the power play for Athletic Bulls, but struggling to gain the line. They do get it now, man. Coming out of the box, and perhaps the biggest save for Sundstrom so far as Yokes gets denied in tight. Punisher now has the puck poked away as he entered the slot. Strandis gets it in the neutral zone once again. A little bit of momentum now for the Athletic Bulls. As I say that, it's taken away. Your boy coming back the other way for GIFU. His shot broken up. Strandis coming back. Surrounded by three skaters. Wisely takes it into the corner. Tries a drop pass for Donsk. Can't quite connect. Dangerous pass from Punisher right there as Rags was lurking, but they don't pay for it. One touch deep to the outside right there for Strandis, but can't get too much further. Masi coming back the other way for GIFU. Move to the middle, gets poked away. But they're able to keep it in. Hit behind the net right there. Good defensive play by Punisher. Clawton gaining the line, dropping it back for Donsk. His shot from distance, looking for a deflection in front. Goes wide. And immediately GIFU gets it out. Big hit in the neutral zone. They can't quite turn around. Your boy have to be careful right here. Does get that one at least across the blue line. We are in the last 30 seconds of real time here. Athletic Bulls making one final push. Strandis! I believe he sends that one back out of the zone. Yes, indeed. Apologies for any delay right there on the feed. The GIFU have it in the offensive end and are looking to just kill the rest of the clock down. Rags has it, and they will succeed in doing so. Sega Stormy behind the net. That will do it. GIFU hockey take a 1-0 game. Probably where they expected to have a few more goals, but Lidman for Athletic Bulls stood on his head and kept his team in it.
Yeah, I mean, give all the credit in the world to Lidman. I mean, for me at least, easily star number one in this game despite the loss. I mean, did everything he possibly could to keep his team in it. And remember, Sin, the one goal he got beat on, he didn't even get beat. That was it right there. He makes an amazing save. The puck just kind of slides under his 5-hole, and he was just sitting there for Reeks to go in and tap that in. But, I mean, nevertheless, Littman, a near perfect performance. GIFU maybe thought they would have had more goals, maybe even thought they deserved more goals. I would definitely say so, but sometimes you just run into a hot goalie that's not to be denied, and that's what happened. Luckily for GIFU, though, they still get all 3 points in the win. Well deserved.
Yeah, and those 3 points are so important for them as they're currently hanging on to the 7th spot, but that win should allow them to leapfrog the team ahead of them and provide more of a cushion to not allow themselves to get leapfrogged in return by any of those teams on the outside looking in who are within range to push for the playoffs here. So a huge win for GIFU. A shutout for Sundström where he didn't have to make too many saves, made 1 or 2 difficult ones, but overall a pretty easy day for him.
Yeah, I think it was really on that third power play where Sundström really had to do most of his heavy lifting there. Made a couple of saves late when the Athletic Bulls really got their last push of that game. But nevertheless, he did what he needed to do. He got a shutout. He made the saves that he needed to. And GIFU Hockey, really just the pressure that they were able to apply on offense and just the little that they allowed defensively, that was really the platform to carry them to a win. And that's a massive result, not just for GIFU Hockey, but for Renascore, who was right below them, Herlev Eagles, who was just above them, now getting past, for sort of Tautier and Deadly Phantoms, who were just outside the playoff race. That's a big result right there for GIFU Hockey. They desperately needed those points, especially when you are a playoff team playing a non-playoff team. Massive, massive victory here for them.
All right, so we'll be taking a break before the second game of 2 between these 2 teams, so don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, we are back. We thank you, of course, for sticking with us through that short break there, as we'll set the stage for the second game of two between GIFU Hockey and Athletic Bulls. Here is about the most convincing of a 1-0 game, as you will see from GIFU Hockey, and it seemed like the Athletic Bulls just couldn't really seem to find any sort of synergy, especially through the neutral zone, Brandon.
Yeah, and we talked about the changes in the lineup for Athletic Bulls. Maybe that would help give them that extra bit of spark, but it just felt like it's the same story it's been for this team all season, just not able to find that offensive generation that they needed to get themselves a win in this game. And you really hated for Athletic Bulls because they had everything else. They had the goaltending. They played rather well defensively in front of Lidman, I thought. They didn't really allow too many grade A opportunities for GIFU, and the ones that they did allow, Lidman was able to make saves on. It was just the offense that wasn't there, whether it be opportunities or just quality of opportunities. Athletic Bulls just did not have it in that game. And you just feel like if they found a way to get a little bit more offense, whether it just be some of that synergy that you talked about, or just putting the puck on net a little bit more, maybe that result could have been a little bit different for them, because they definitely had a chance. They're only allowing one goal.
Yeah, and that's what they gotta kind of be looking for here in the second game, just a way to get a few more chances on net, because if their goaltender is going to continue to play with that, they have an opportunity to pick up, a big win and a big possible 3 points here if they can find ways to generate a little bit more offense here. So not too sure how far away the teams are from getting matched up, but the games are reported. Maybe throw it over to the standings real quick to take another look at that. Because GIFU will be very satisfied with what just happened in that last one. Obviously picking up the 3 points for that regulation win, which should indeed move them up from 7 to 6, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get that confirmed in just a matter of moments. And yes, and actually they moved all the way up to 5 based on goal differential over Nova. So a huge win for GIFU Hockey. And if they're able to do it again, they'll find themselves in 4th, Brandon.
Yeah, and that's why we said coming into this one, Sin, that these were massive, massive games here for GIFU Hockey, not only because they had some of those games in hand to move their way up, but also because you are playing a team that is on the right side of that board. You have to capitalize getting points against teams that are struggling a little bit, and GIFU Hockey, they may have not gotten the goals that they anticipated getting in that first game, but they got the points, and that's all 3, which is exactly what they needed. It is massive, massive news for them to get those 3 points, not just for themselves, but some of those other teams around them, as we mentioned. I mean, I'm looking at the standings right now, Sin, and from 4 all the way down to 10, I mean, there's only 11 points to separate these teams, and with the new system, that is not a big gap whatsoever. That's really just 4 games, less than that, really. So there's a lot of opportunity here for GIFU Hockey. They could move themselves all the way up to 3 if they were to continue moving along the way here to end the season, especially considering that Vizio has already played their games out. Nova has that game that they've already played. Lots of opportunity here for GIFU.
So puck drop in the second game of 2 is underway, of course. Athletic Bulls on the bottom of your screen now in their home dark jerseys, and GIFU rocking their away whites. And they're in on the forecheck, as that's Sega Storm able to get the puck, and your boy's shot gets blocked, and Strandi's trying to come up the other way. Yokes now with the puck, but just goes offside with Donsk right there. And I believe we just had a disconnect, unfortunately, as that looks like a full PlayStation Network disconnect from whoever is streaming right there. So we're going to try to get that sorted out as quickly as possible here, but I believe we're just going to, instead of trying to buy some time here, there's not much to talk about in this first minute or so of game time, so we're going to throw it to another brief break as we try to get that all sorted.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, well, we should be able to jump right back into things here. So we do apologize for that disconnect here, but we are ready, and fortunately, since it was at the beginning, I'm assuming we're just going to be starting right from the off here between these two teams. So the second game of two between GIFU Hockey and Athletic Bulls just about ready to get underway. And Brandon, what do you think the Athletic Bulls have to do to be able to traverse that neutral zone trap that the GIFU Hockey team did so well?
Yeah, I think really, even if they have to just try to find the way to reset, I think just having possession of the puck for them is the biggest thing. Even if it's not in the offensive zone, it's okay to wait and sit in the neutral zone a little bit and just try to soften up that GIFU defense until you find that space to break it into the offensive zone. There's no use in turning the puck over immediately and just continually running into that trap. I think the better that you can continue to just hold that puck and keep it away for GIFU, the better their chances are to find their way to squeaking out a win.
GIFU does have it in the offensive zone here early on, but Rags has that one taken away. Clawton coming back the other way. Maybe numbers now for Athletic Bulls. Yokes will drop it back to Punisher. Looking for that middle, but no one home. Mossy has it now for GIFU. His pass goes a little bit awry, but your boy will collect. GIFU looking to enter the zone once again. Good patience there, but maybe ill-advised pass from Sluibaya. And they have to reset once more in their own end. Saucer pass, not hitting the intended target, actually going for icing right there. So an offensive zone draw for the Athletic Bulls.
Yeah, and for Athletic Bulls, I think these are the opportunities that you have to take advantage of. Remember, Sin, they struggled in the face-off department in that last game. We'll see if they make a fix that here.
Face-off, he's assumed possession by GIFU. Sluibaya in the rush, hits Rags down low, but can't have a shooting lane. Sluibaya in support there. Gets it out front. Segastormy's pass goes through. He has it back. Rags for the one-timer. Blocked in front by Clawton. And Athletic Bulls coming back the other way. Strandis has it now. Clawton along the point. Gets that one back down low. Strandis trying to feed that one out front. Hit off the iron. And Sundström then able to cover.
Yeah, and we talked about Sundström earlier on today, how great he has been, the best goalie in the league statistically so far this season. He hasn't been challenged too much, but when he has been, he's been able to step up and make those big saves like that one.
Strandis takes a shot from distance there, and good kick save. A one-timer look, but a broken stick for Donsk there. Gonna have to hustle to the bench to get another one. So he does indeed get one, but the line was gained, and a one-time play by Rags was blocked again. Clawton doing a good job getting in front of those, but GIFU has it once more. Wraparound attempted by Rags. Taken away, though. Pass up. Strandis coming back the other way. Head of steam down the right wing side. His drop pass go straight to Rags. Rags now thought about the pass. It actually went towards Lidman. And Athletic Bulls looking to work this one out once more. Punisher now back to the centerman Donsk. He'll send that one in deep, but no real pursuit there from the Athletic Bulls forwards. Segastormy gets his puck in deep, but no further than that. Step up at the line, but Yokes dodges the hit. Good pass up there, but once again, a wall at the blue line. That leads to an offside.
Yeah, and just that blue line, it feels like has given Athletic Bulls a lot of trouble so far today, as you mentioned earlier, Sid. They just got to try to find a way to break it. They've improved a little bit, it feels like, in this game, a little bit more possession time so far offensively than they had in the last first period, but still not ideally where you'd want it to have to beat a strong GIFU team.
Yeah, they are doing a good job at their own blue line in response. Segastormy does gain the zone, and Rags will pick it up, trying to drive the net right there. Now GIFU trying to work that one up top, but an odd bounce off of the boards. Lead to going all the way back into their end. Sluibaya, good one-touch deke to the outside. Gets that one down low, takes it behind the net, tries a pass, but Clawton read that like a book. And here comes Athletic Bulls back the other way. Punisher goes down low to Yokes. In front and a good opportunity there, but Sundström there to make the stop.
Once again, Sundström, when you call his name, he just makes that big save. It hasn't been often today, but again, is able to be right where he needs to be. But give Athletic Bulls some credits, and they have really started to find their offense a little bit. Now he just need to break in and get that goal.
Punisher tries a down low pass. Strandis, though, good forecheck, able to turn that one back over. Clotton now up top to Punisher again. His shot blocked in front. Sega Sormi coming back the other way, gets drilled at the blue line by Punisher. Strandis, though, doesn't have a whole lot of space to work with, and Athletic Bulls forced to reset. Pass to Strandis, but had a man right in front of him. I believe that was your boy, who's now in possession for GIFU. Trying to work down the middle there, but not a whole lot of space, and that's one thing Athletic Bulls really done better in this one, is clogging up their own blue line and negating really a lot of GIFU zone entries. Now they have it down low, a give-and-go attempt right there, but Sluibaya is able to cut it off. Sega Sormi coming back the other way, passes it towards the middle, but kind of think, man, that play has just not been there. These Athletic Bulls have done a good job clogging up the center of the ice, whether it's at the blue line or in their own defensive end in the first period. Will end scoreless here. Hard to really say who had the advantage in that period, but I'd say the best, maybe one of the best chances came from the side of the Athletic Bulls.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. And I mean, really, as you mentioned, hard to really make heads or tails of who has the advantage of this game because it's been pretty much even. I don't really think either team has really progressed much further than the other in terms of who's going to grab a lead. I mean, GIFU Hockey, 2 minutes of time on attack, just 1 shot on net, while for Athletic Bulls, nearly 2 minutes of time on attack, but 2 shots on net. Even though it's not a lot, still more than what they allowed on the opposite end. So really, I feel like we kind of are where we started in this game. Just both teams trying to find that momentum, both teams trying to find their way to that first goal. But I think if you had to choose a winner there in that first period, Athletic Bulls, I think, got the better of GIFU.
Yeah, you know, it's the numbers quite even across it, but yeah, in terms of good scoring chances, the advantage went to Athletic Bulls with it, well, just being really the one good scoring chance of that period. So interesting to see GIFU kind of getting stumped here. We'll see what they have in response in this second period as Rags will gain the blue line. Looking to the middle once more, and this time it's a penalty. Slashing will be the call. Clotton sitting for 2, so we'll finally get to see GIFU's power play go to work here in this matchup.
Oh, and that's not what you want to see if you're Athletic Bulls. You're playing well. You've really gotten your stride going, it feels like, compared to GIFU, and then you come into the second period after a pretty good first and take a penalty immediately. So not at all what you want to see if you're Athletic Bulls, and now you put your defense and your goaltender in a really precarious position.
Face-off will be collected by your boy. Runs in with his defensive partner now. Yokes with a little bit of space. Trying to get that shot away. Bounces dangerously towards the goaltender, but the defender collects it. Masi takes it in for GIFU to try to get the power play set up. Masi's shot! Lidman makes a save, plays it out, however. Your boy will have it on the point now. One time looking, blocked again. That time it's Donsk. Your boy. Now Masi has it, still has it, and shot on, and Lidman makes another in-tight glove save.
Boy, and Lidman risked it for the biscuit, playing that out. There wasn't any teammate near him where he threw it out, and it ended up leading to another chance there for GIFU Hockey. Very fortunate they didn't capitalize on it, but hey, look at Lidman again, man, making those big saves.
Full pressure now obtained for GIFU. Sluibaya's shot picks the corner, and he scores! GIFU Hockey capitalize on the man advantage. A shot from the point, and it was a dandy at that.
How about Sluibaya? Nice job there, passing that back to the point, and then Sluibaya just recognizing that shooting lane right there, as it was your boy who collects another assist, and we talked about how big he has been over the last few games. Gets it over to his D partner, and just a nice job for Sluibaya, knowing that he didn't have a pass. He said, hey, we put this shot on net. We haven't been able to beat Lidman so far, but it's better than the turnover, and sure enough, he's able to get it past that blocker side to give GIFU the lead, and that's why that penalty was so big. Now Athletic Bulls went from having the momentum to now having to fight against it.
GIFU right back in on the attack here, and Sluibaya will be able to keep that one in. Tries to pass over to Rags, but it was a little bit off the mark, and Strandis coming back the other way. His pass to the middle, though, intercepted by a back-checking Sega Sormi. We're starting to see GIFU close up that neutral zone once again. Sluipaya's pass. They do gain the line. It's a hectic mess of sticks and skates there, but finally goes back the other way. Donsk in possession, just throws that behind him to safety in the neutral zone, and Athletic Bulls will reset. Punisher up to Yokes. Good defensive stick right there by Sluipaya. Getomasi, one-touch deke to the middle. Donsk there to make the interception. Reigs now tries the same thing. Donsk defends again so well. He's been solid defensively for this team. Is passed to the middle, once again intercepted. Reigs coming back the other way, gets hit by Punisher. Masi keeps it in. Sega trying to keep deke to the inside. Athletic Bulls now trying to work out a zone exit. Reigs a nice move after making that intercept. Your boy on the point, back down low. Reigs feeding the middle. Masi with an in-tight chance. Might have got a half a shot away, but Lidman kept it out. And an offside here with 9:44 remaining in the second.
And it just feels, and ever since that penalty that Athletic Bulls took, the tides have turned to this game, and GIFU Hockey has returned to what we saw from them in game number 1, where they're dominating the possession, they're getting opportunities. It just feels like Athletic Bulls are not able to get out of their own zone or out of the neutral zone either.
GIFU once again starting the attack. Masi and Segasormi working it down low, but they're unable to maintain possession. Yokes taking it back the other way. Claughton trying to feed that pass through and didn't get there initially, and he eventually takes it offside, and they're just not able to get through the neutral zone right now unhindered.
Yeah, and we've seen them try a couple of different things. We've seen them try to skate their way in. We've seen them try to kind of pass their way through to get past the blue line. We've even seen them dump it down low a couple of times, but GIFU Hockey has been able to beat them to the race to the puck. It just feels like one of those things to where, again, if you're Athletic Bulls, do what you're doing right now. Just try to keep possession of the puck and hope that you can just lure GIFU offside, just like that breakout right there.
And like that one, Punisher down low with it. Keeps it down low. Strandis a little bit off the mark, but Yokes is able to get it. He tries to go down low again, but your boy's right there to defend. Saucer pass up the middle, off the mark, will be intercepted by Donsk. And his pass off the mark as well, so Athletic Bulls will go all the way back in their own end to collect it. Strandis can't get across the line, but that saucer pass may lead to an icing here as it goes all the way to the opposite side.
And that was a close call there. I thought maybe GIFU would have been able to have gotten that icing nullified, but nevertheless for Athletic Bulls, massive chance for them here to get an opposite zone face-off, especially considering how much they have struggled to get to this point here.
And Donsk has done a better job on the draws in this one, wins another one there. Claughton at the point, sent to Strandis. And Reigs will get the turnover here as Masi comes back the other way. Cuts to the middle there, taken away, and well, taken away in the neutral zone once more by that excellent back check pressure of GIFU. Reigs in possession now, sends it all the way back. And it's really at this point GIFU's game. They're continuing to get the better of the possession in all three zones, but an offside right there.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like for Athletic Bulls, they're just kind of having to wonder, like, man, what do we have to do to kind of slow this thing down from GIFU Hockey? They've done a little bit of a better job, I think, of that over the last few minutes, but they still have to find a way to get into the opposite zone. They're down by 1, and we saw last game, they can't just rely on Lidman to continue making saves.
That's a good saucer pass up. Strandis a little bit of space, but excellent defensive work by your boy to take that away. Still has it. Nice, calm and patient right there coming out from the left defenseman. Masi has it now down low for GIFU. Nearing the end of the second period here, a one-time look. Plenty of space on the left-hand side, but it goes right into Lidman.
Boy, and GIFU had to think they had that second goal of the game right there. Lidman not right square to that shot, but the puck luckily just going right to him, and he's able to make the save.
Face-off one once again. Reigs does a good job to keep that one from going out. We'll get one last shot. Backhand on that Lidman has no trouble with. And it'll stay as it is. Still a 1-0 GIFU lead, exactly as it was in the last game here. And exactly as it was, well, in the last game as well. GIFU getting the better half, the better side of the play.
Yeah, and really that second period felt a lot more like the first game than what the first period felt like. The first period I think was pretty even. There weren't really a lot of chances for either side, but that second period again said I can't help but to go back to that penalty that the Athletic Bulls took. GIFU Hockey got their offense rolling, got a power play goal, and it feels like they just haven't looked back since. And you're seeing that in the stats. 2.5 minutes of time on attack in that period. They had I believe 5 shots in that period as well. So maybe not the same level of domination that we saw in that first game, but it's not far off. And Athletic Bulls, with the lack of offense we've seen from them, it has to be encouraging for GIFU Hockey to see where they are in this game, see where their defense and goaltending has been, and to say, hey, we get one more goal, this thing could very well be over. So you got to feel good for GIFU Hockey, and for Athletic Bulls, you have got to find a way to score. 5 scoreless periods, not going to get it done.
No, absolutely not. And at this point, I think they got to adopt the mentality no shot is a bad shot. We'll see what they do. Rigs takes it in for GIFU. Sega Sormi now drops it back to Sluibaya on the point. He goes to the middle looking for Rigs, but Sega Sormi is the one to come up with it. Sluibaya shot deflected in the high slot, but Lidman turns it aside. Strandi's coming back the other way, should have a clean zone entry, just taking it with speed. Slows up in the corner now, looking to get a cycle going down low. Trying to come out front was Donsk with it, but he couldn't maintain possession. And still, Athletic Bulls have it. Ill-advised pass and an ill-advised poke. Rigs with plenty of space, won't have the cross-ice pass, so smartly takes it into the corner. Buying his time with it, hits Mossy. Mossy takes it through and actually slid it through the 5-hole of Lidman, but it went across the crease and out the other side. Good pass to Yokes. He actually stopped after receiving that. May have been able to split the D right there, but now it leads to an offside for Athletic Bulls, and they just cannot get themselves going here.
Yeah, that's really the story. It feels like Athletic Bulls just struggling to really find much of anything, and you're in a situation now to where it's the third period and time is getting thinner and thinner, so you're searching for answers, but you're getting to a point now to where you don't really have much time to search. You have to find answers ASAP, and you have an offensive zone face-off here. We'll see if they can maybe get something from that, but man, so far, nothing Athletic Bulls are doing are working.
Face off, won by GIFU. Sluibaya jumping up off the tie-up. Slows down as he crosses the line. Still in possession as he takes it into the corner. Mossy picks it up after he's bumped off. A trip right there. GIFU will be going back to the power play. We'll see if they need it. Delayed call. Perhaps goaltender heading to the bench. Your boy still in possession. Loses it. I don't believe the goaltender's heading there, so they'll just skate with 5 here. Sega Sormi dumps that all the way around. Mossy will pick it up, trying to skate towards the middle. Will collect behind the net off the loose puck. Sega Sormi now, going back to Sluibaya. All kinds of time here for the attack of GIFU. Knocked off the puck. Your boy slides over to take it in the neutral zone. Finally touched up by Yokes. And we'll get the call here. It is indeed a tripping. And Punisher will be sitting for 2.
Yeah, and this is huge, huge, huge for GIFU Hockey. You mentioned it earlier. They got their 1 goal of this game on the power play. Could they potentially get the second one here, Sid? I think that if they do, you have to feel pretty good about GIFU's chances of going home with 6 points tonight, especially considering of how much Athletic Bulls have struggled offensively. So this right here, this next 2 minutes, this is the sequence of the game so far.
Good face-off win by Donsk there. Able to get that early clear on the PK. And GIFU now orchestrating a break-in. Good passing to get that one in, but nice defensive sticks. They can't get the clear, though. Sluibaya, good job to jump up and take that one away. Another great keeping from your boy, but he spins at the line and puts himself offside.
Boy, you just feel like they're so close, right, GIFU? I mean, they have continuously earned opportunities so far in this game. They have been really pouncing on the defense of the Athletic Bulls, but that time just a little bit too much of a step ahead there for that offside, so still some time in the power play.
Sluibaya gets the zone entry. Rags has it in the corner and drops it back to the point. Sluibaya, the goal scorer in the first one. Passes that one off, but now has it back on the point. Circles around his pass off the mark. Sega Sormi can't collect, and not the cleanest of power play looks for GIFU here, and now it's over, but they do get the turnover in the neutral zone, trying to turn it around once again. Your boy just sends that one in deep. Mossy on the hunt, but can't come up with it. Yokes takes it, but Strandis had already gone so deep in the zone he couldn't tag up in time. That's another offside.
Yeah, and we've seen a few of those for Athletic Bulls. Once again, just that neutral zone has given them so much trouble. But look at the positive side for them. They kill off that power play, still only down by 1. But once again, you have to find some offense.
Strandis has it now into the corner, sent to Yokes behind the net. Now to Strandis again, just trying to jam play at the side of the net. Sundstrom stops it and gets the cover.
Boy, and Sundstrom, you know, he hasn't been asked of much, but he just continues to be right where he needs to be. He makes the simple saves, and you can be a great goalie, make those big-time saves, but the simple saves have to be there as well. It's been right where he's needed to be every single time.
Punisher shot, and with the traffic in front, Strandis gets it right back, has a man open on the back door, can't get the pass away.
Oh, man, that was a golden chance potentially for Athletic Bulls, but like you said, just could not get that pass off in time. But still, you're in the offensive zone. You have an opportunity here. You just have to find your way to some shots.
Claughton shot from distance. Donsk trying to turn and fire. Gets that one blocked. Pass in front. They score! At long last, Athletic Bulls have found their opening tally. Strandis kicks it to Donsk, who buries it.
It was a long time coming, Sin, but Athletic Bulls finally get themselves on the board, and it started because they were in the offensive zone. They established some possession finally. It really wasn't because they peppered Sundstrom with shots. It was on the first shot attempt of that possession. They were just able to squeak that pass through the middle to find their man in the centerman and Doss sitting right there to collect that pass. So for Athletic Bulls, zone time. They finally get it, they get their clear opportunity, and they capitalize to tie the game.
GIFU now in danger of at least missing out on 1 point here with the tie game. Mossy trying to feed the middle right there. Yokes takes it away. See what Athletic Bulls are able to do here. Nice fake shot and pass to Yokes there, but he's not able to get the shot away. Back the other way come GIFU there. Pass to the neutral zone goes awry, however. And time running out for both of these teams. A regulation win would be huge for either of them. Good drop pass. Donsk elects not to shoot. But they are able to maintain possession in the zone. Donsk gets it back, but stripped away immediately. Your boy joining the rush now for GIFU. Riggs has it, trying to feed your boy. He digs forward in the corner, comes up with it, but his pass goes straight to Yokes. And Athletic Bulls coming.
More juice for Athletic Bulls right now.
Strandis trying to go to the middle right there, but that bounces off someone. Riggs now gets bumped at the line. 24 seconds remaining. Yokes takes it in for Athletic Bulls. Doesn't get the shot away in time either. Just a little bit too much hesitancy to shoot, I think, for that Athletic Bulls team. Strandis can't get that one down low. Claughton comes in the corner. One time for Punisher. Rebound from Yokes and kept out by Sundstrom. And GIFU will kill off the remainder of the time. A great push from Athletic Bulls at the end. They get the tying marker, nearly get the go-ahead goal with time expiring, but it'll take overtime to decide the winner of this game.
And Sin, I think that you can thank Sundstrom for just collecting a point for GIFU hockey. That looked like Athletic Bulls had the game winner on their stick with that last shot there, and just were not able to beat Sundstrom. However, what an amazing save from one of the best goalies in this division all season long. But remember, Sin, and for those listening that maybe aren't aware, the new point structure, GIFU hockey loses out on a critical point here, losing that regulation lead. So still a chance for them to get 2 points, but in a playoff race to where it's so tight, only 6 points separating 5 different teams, every single point matters and makes a difference. So massive goal out there for GIFU hockey that I'm sure a few of the teams around them are going to be very happy to see this go to an extra frame.
Yeah, and indeed, if Athletic Bulls are able to get the game-winning goal as well, I mean, GIFU will only come away with 4 out of 6 points. Still a pretty good night for them, but against a team as low in the standings as Athletic Bulls are, and as really as dominant as GIFU has looked throughout a lot of this matchup, it'll be a disappointing night for them. Big pass up, Strandis with some space, dekes to the middle, though, and Mossy on the back check just picks his pocket.
Just want a shot on net there. That was a little bit too much, it felt like, from Strandi.
Yeah, definitely. I think so too, as he's in possession once again, feeds over to Yokes, gets it back to Strandis. All the way over, but a penalty taken by Athletic Bulls, the third one of the game. Yokes will be sitting for 2.
Gosh, and it just feels like for Athletic Bulls, whenever they get an opportunity, whenever they get some momentum, it just seems like they shoot themselves in the foot with a penalty. We saw it earlier where they had the momentum going into the second period. They took a penalty, led to the GIFU hockey goal. It didn't bite them on their second penalty, but now this is overtime. You cannot afford mistakes like that. And GIFU hockey needing this point, they can capitalize here.
Your boy gets it off the face-off back to Sluibaya. His pass over for the one-time, turned aside by Lidman. Good forecheck keeps it alive. Segasormi back to the point. Sluibaya activating in, throws a pass that goes through the crease somehow.
Another penalty.
No one on the, another penalty, as my commentator just pointed out. A huge save by Lidman, but we will have a 5-on-3 now, as Strandis will be headed to the box to sit.
Yeah, and you feel like GIFU hockey just absolutely has to score here, right? I mean, 5-on-3, you've dominated the offense seemingly all night long. This is the best chance they're going to get, I feel like, in this overtime. You have got to find a game winner right now if you're GIFU hockey. Don't play around. Take advantage of this next minute and 1 second.
Trying to move that out. A good job keeping it in. Reichs has it now. Goes back to the point. Full pressure. One time and a big kick save by Lidman. Another penalty taken, though. GIFU is going to have yet another power play. One time saved by Lidman. But another Athletic Bulls skater sitting. They're going to have to deal with a compy out there now.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, defensively, Athletic Bulls are folding like origami right now. I mean, 3 straight penalties that, I mean, in a really critical point. Remember, Athletic Bulls could use the points as well just to get themselves out of those relegation zone spots. So this is a massive time that has so many mistakes late in the game.
The boy in possession, Sluibaya now. Creeps in, his shot gets blocked. Man hits the deck, no call, just contact. Your boy has it once again. Sluibaya over to Reigs, and that one's stopped by Lidman. He's wise to those one-timers. And Getomasi score! No, he doesn't! Contact in front, the net drive by your boy. Tried to get the shot away, made contact. That goal should not count, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Your boy driving through, as you mentioned, Sid. And, you know, I think that Lidman may have been sliding to the left anyways, but definitely enough contact, definitely enough hindrance to say that Lidman wasn't going to be able to get himself in position to make that save. So I think that's the right call there, but unfortunate for GIFU.
With the stoppage, they do get their human skater back, but still suffering the man advantage, and GIFU capitalizes. Finally, the one-timer from Reigs finds pay dirt. He beats Lidman, and GIFU pick up the win in overtime.
They may have missed out on the 1 point, but they at least come out with 5 of 6. And again, just the penalties from Athletic Bulls at the end costing them, but GIFU hockey doing their part of the job, capitalizing and taking advantage of that 5-on-3. Beautiful cycle play there, almost like a little bit of a triangle formation there between the 3 skaters, just passing it between one another. They find it there with Reigs over on that opposite side. Puts it in with that goal 1T ability. Nothing Lidman can do about that. Is once again, look at that pass over to the opposite side. Just a perfect setup there offensively there from GIFU hockey. They find that extra point, and a massive, massive points night here for GIFU hockey, who needed every single one they could get.
Yeah, 5 out of 6, and Athletic Bulls come away with just 1 of a possible 6, so definitely not what they were looking for out of this matchup. But they had every single chance to win in this game, and it was all thanks to their goaltender. Lidman was lights out. Considering this was his first bit of action throughout this season is huge. I mean, he is a phenomenal goaltender. And, you know, unfortunately, I think you hit the nail on the head. At the end in that overtime there, his team just kind of folded around him. I mean, taking 1 penalty, okay, it's a, rough mistake. Let's kill off, but 2 more in subsequence is just, honestly, it just can't happen, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, especially at this level, you have to remember this is an Athletic Bulls team that made the move up from the light division from last season. They were a really good light division team, but I mean, again, you just cannot afford to make that many mistakes back to back to back. One penalty, okay, it's going to happen. Two, that's not great, not ideal, but to have all three penalties in succession to where you have a computer out on the ice, that's a massive, massive shift, man. I mean, it just feels like Athletic Bulls had some chances there at the end, and they shot themselves in the foot with those penalties, and that gave GIFU Hockey all those opportunities. They got the power play, capitalized on it, and Sin, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, remember the big saves from Sundstrom at the end of that third period. Athletic Bulls looked like they had the game won on that last chance. If Sundstrom doesn't make that save, we would be having a completely different conversation, if not for arguably the best goalie in the Pro Division this season. So, gotta bookmark that. Goaltending, giving GIFU Hockey that opportunity, and they push forward in overtime to get the win.
Yeah, goaltending really was the story of this matchup at the end of the day. And yeah, it's hard because we were giving Lidman so much praise as he was facing all kind of actions. You know, Sundstrom didn't face as much action, but you said it. He came up huge at the end there for GIFU Hockey. Once again, pick up 5 out of 6 points. That will do it for our first matchup of the day. We will be back in just a little bit to set the stage for our second. So we thank you for sticking with us. Don't go anywhere.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, thank you for sticking with us, of course, after that first matchup. And the second one just about to be brought to you here. Opera Hockey taking on Lugano eSports. It's going to be an excellent matchup here, of course. Both of these teams having pretty good seasons, but Opera eSports are doing fantastic here. I'm sure we can get a look at the standings in just a second as well.
Yeah, Opera is doing really, really well, and this is a team that has a lot of experiences. We'll take a look at Group 1 first, and, we just saw what GIFU Hockey was able to do. Well, look at Rittascore, got themselves some points up there as well, so it feels like what we saw at the beginning of the day looks a lot different than what we're seeing now. Rittascore getting up there, GIFU getting up there, Herlev moving their way up. A lot of change here happening over the last couple of hours.
And kind of bad news for Södertälje and Deadly Phantoms, of course, as they're trying to play catch-up. And for Deadly Phantoms, they're, 9 points behind Herlev, but the same amount of games played. It's looking pretty grim for Södertälje and Deadly Phantoms over there, as we'll take a look at Group 2, of course, which will contain both Lugano and Opera Hockey. And where they sit, and yes, indeed, Opera Hockey at the top of the division, and Lugano in a playoff spot, but tentatively, we'll say, although they do have quite a few games in hand. Supernatural, really, the one that would present the largest threat of catching either them or Nürnberg.
Yeah, and I think that it is pretty much Supernatural. Maybe Valco, I think, as well, if they can get on a bit of a run here late in the season. But I think Supernatural probably poses the biggest threat, so to speak, to that top 8. But really, the thing for that top 8, I think, what is seeding going to look like? 4 through 8 only separated by 4 points. With this new structure, Sid, that's only 1 win and an overtime loss. So that could really change a lot there between 4 and 8, and then you throw Supernatural and their possibility of getting up there into the mix. A lot here that could happen. So for Lugano, big chance for them to maybe get some points, but it's not going to be easy going up against the number 1 team in their group that is in a battle for that number 1 seed right now with Arctic and Purification.
And we'll take a look at the 2 teams that we have facing off here, of course. For Opera Hockey, exactly what you'd expect. A fantastic goal differential and exceedingly strong special teams from them. For Lugano, still great numbers throughout the course of their games and solid, special teams as well. It's just Opera seems to be on another level.
Yeah, Opera so far the second highest scoring team in the entire Pro Division. They're also number 2 in Group 2. The number 1 team just has to be in their group of Arctic. But Opera Hockey, they have been dominant offensively, and it's not overly surprising with just some of the names that they have, but you can't sleep on them defensively either. 56 goals against, nothing to snuff at. They've been particularly good on the special teams, 32% on the power play, 89% on the penalty kill. It's going to be hard to find many better teams with higher numbers in either of those two stats and that. So a very well-rounded team that Lugano is going to be going against means they're going to have to step up even more than what they normally would.
And we'll take a look at the lineups now for these 2 clubs, of course, starting off on the side of Opera Hockey, you have Machine Gun Kalle on that left wing side, Niskalaukos on the center position, and Pursuiti on the right wing side. On defense, you have Sile and MCH with Gresu in between the pipes. And up front for Lugano, you have Yasom, Krinke, and Alex. On defense is Reuschner and NR, and in between the pipes is Mateo in goal. So we'll start off with the center comparison, as we always do, and taking a look here at Niskalaukos and Krinke, definite a clear favorite when it comes to point scoring.
Yeah, and I mean, Nikolauskas, he has been absolutely amazing. He's a guy that has a lot of experience, both in the pro and the elite division, played for their old reality check teams that for so often were really the number 1 team to beat here in the pro division. And now he comes over to Opera and they're in the same situation. He's been a big reason to their success with the amount of points that he has been able to put up. But don't sleep on Grinke over on the other side. Maybe doesn't have the same success in terms of the points, but he's a guy that's contributed for this team as well. 15 goals, 22 assists, nothing to snuff at. I think, once again, the big thing that's going to be the difference is that face-off percentage. Can Krinke kind of even that up here in this match between these 2?
And moving our way over to the winger comparisons as well, you're just going to see huge points coming out from the side of Opera Hockey between Kalle and Persuiti. On that flip side, Yasum doing really good job for his team. And Alex, of course, we know him from the Elite Division. Maybe surprisingly low point totals for him.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people saw Alex coming down, a guy that, once again, was a staple of those ZSC eSports teams for so long, both at forward and at goalie. I think people saw him get added to this Lugano team and said, man, this is a guy who's going to put up 60, maybe 70 points. And so far, it just hasn't happened that way. But nevertheless, he's still been impactful. He has 15 goals. He has 20 assists. He has been specifically impactful on the physicality side of things with 215 hits. So surprising to see him that low statistically, but that experience that he has, the skill that we've seen him be able to pull out, always going to be a threat. Him and Persuiti over on that right wing side going to be a lot of fun to watch here in this game.
And we'll take a look now at the defensive pairings for these respective teams as well. Of course, some familiar names if you do follow along with the elite action. And, well, if you follow along with pro, as familiar as well. Sile and MCH both doing great work back there on the point for Opera. And on the other side, though, not too bad of numbers coming out from Reuschner and NR.
No, not at all. I mean, it feels like that's kind of the story here in this game is all of the numbers that you see from Opera, it does pop out at you, and understandably so, but you can't sleep on this Lugano team. They have a lot of quality players. They're having really solid seasons, and you're seeing that here. It's easy to get caught up with the 40 points from Side and the 37 points from MCH, but Richard and NR are both having really quality seasons so far as well. I mean, if they were playing against any other team, I think we'd be talking about Richard and how amazing he's been with 27 assists and 4 goals in 24 games played. It's just that the numbers are so sky high over on that Opera side. It kind of makes you lose sight of that, but this is going to be very close. Their match is very evenly overall.
And the last matchup, of course, is the battle between the goaltenders here, and going to see a bit of a games played discrepancy as, well, both of these teams do rock a couple different goaltenders, but Mateo does have quite a few more games played than GIFU back there, but the numbers very solid for each of them.
Yeah, Mateo playing 20 games compared to the Eagle just playing in the 4. But, I mean, really, he's been so solid all season long to where it's like, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. He has around an 85 save percentage. He has 2 shutouts in the 20 games he's played. We just saw Sundstrom, who was at an 87 save percentage, and Mateo is not that far off from it. While for GIFU, again, like you said, Sid, just one of 2 really good goalies for this upper side, and he's going to have to step up because, like we said, this is a Lugano team that has guys that can score. I know that the numbers might not immediately catch your attention because who they're up against, but they're a good offensive side. GIFU is going to have to be on his game. It's going to be interesting to see him match up against Mateo, who is pretty much equal in just about every single stat so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely, and I do believe we're going to be matched up here pretty quickly. Both of these two teams relatively excited to get going here, and why not? I mean, the points here are absolutely huge. Maybe not so much for Opera, but at the same time, they want to maintain that 1 seed, give themselves the best chances in that round 1 and really throughout the entirety of the playoffs when it comes to the matchups in the playoffs here. And they've been fantastic so far. So we'll see what Lugano is going to be able to do to try to slow things down. And not too sure I see that too often. Persuiti actually using an OFD on the right wing side to get and have access to that to the gold 1 team without having to have the low defensive stats of the sniper.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't think I've seen anyone do that really in either of the last couple of iterations of games. So interesting there for Persuiti to use that build. But, you know, once again, we said it earlier, not every build is a meta build. Some of it is just about what you feel can benefit you the most and can benefit your team the most. It'd be fun to see Persuiti with that offensive defenseman build at a winger spot in action.
And of course, don't forget to tune in with us tomorrow as we get our way back to the Elite action, the final week of coverage of regular season coverage in the Elite Division, Mayhem's Tunnel Vision, and then a bit later, Jyväskylä taking on H-Red. So we'll have to see what happens in that one tomorrow. But right now, we turn our attention to the task at hand. Opera Hockey taking on Lugano eSports. And well, I mean, the hype for this couldn't really be higher. Anytime the 1 seed's playing, that's a heck of a matchup. So we'll see now as the face-off, these 2 teams getting underway. Opera on the bottom of your screen here in their white jerseys, and Lugano up top in their home dark jerseys. Opera having a little bit of trouble initially crossing the blue line. Niskalaukaus has that one poked away. Yasum in possession now. Krinke, he fakes a slap shot, but that allows a good step up from Kalle to be able to break that up. He drops back to MCH. He passes to Niskalaukaus. Persuiti from behind the net trying to wrap around, but Mateo's there.
Yeah, and so far it kind of maybe feels like you could have a bit of a feel-out period. Upper originally kind of struggling to get in the offensive zone, but you saw once they were able to break in, got a little bit of a cycle going, were able to get a quick shot on net, could maybe lead to something here on the faceoff.
And R has it now for Lugano, passes up to Yasum. He goes around the net, nice little give and go there as they try to establish an attack in the O zone. And R still in deep, joining the offense. Trying to peel away towards the short side. Kale trying to break that out, gets disrupted, but eventually they do clear the zone. Good pass. Niskalaukaus trying to sneak it in on that short side, but Mateo makes the save.
We just talked about Mateo, how he's been so good so far throughout the season. That's a big save right there, and what's a pretty sneaky chance. If he could have snuck that in on the backhand, it would have been a goal. He had some space. It was a nice play, but Mateo right where he needed to be positionally to make that save.
Offensive zone draw now for the side of Opera. There's a tie-up on the draw. Persuiti will come up with it. Has a shooting lane, trying to take the shot. It was blocked in front. Yasum now coming back the other way, gets drilled by MCH, causing a disruption and a turnaround back the other way. Kalle has it now. Going through the middle. We'll get that one down low, just out of the reach of MCH, who would join the rush. Alex now in possession. That one fed up, taken away. And Kalle has it for Opera once more. Navigating the neutral zone, and they do unfortunately go offside. We'll have a stoppage at 11:43.
Yeah, but so far, Sin, feels like it's been mostly Opera in terms of the offensive pressure. I mean, we haven't seen Lugano really be able to break into the offensive zone or really even get it into the neutral zone that much. As you see, another quick turnover. Opera really stifling the offense and just the breakout overall from Lugano so far.
That one sent down low. But Opera right back in possession here. Kalle just bullying his way up the middle after a failed pass. Niskalaukaus has that one taken away. Yasum coming back the other way for Lugano. And fortunately for them, can't get too much further as Opera back in possession. Kalle now down the left wing side, cutting towards the middle, but nothing really there. Both these teams looking for the center of the ice, but they're each playing very good defense. Yasum takes that one. A big save right there from Gresu. Had to stretch out to make that one off the one-timer from the point. The pass to Alex goes awry. Yasum does have it, though. Alex down in the corner now, trying to go out front. MCH now for Opera. Persuiti now has it. Protecting to the middle. Niskalaukaus sending that one around the net, but Reuschner right there to take it away. Krinke coming back. His shot gets deflected wide, and Sile will have it for Opera. Kalle trying to go up the middle, passes over to Persuiti, goes back to Kalle from behind the net, looking for a wrap again. It's just not there. MCH now navigating the breakout and attempted break-in for his team. Puck goes in deep. Kalle has a chance to get it, but sent around the boards by Alex, but right into the hands of the defense. He tries to force the middle again. There's just too many defenders right there to make that happen. Krinke now in possession. His pass nearly through the slot. Had Alex on the back door, but a rush back the other way. Kalle now has it. Cuts to the middle. His shot and a big save by Mateo.
Man, we talked about how even these two goaltenders were. Gresu makes one big save on one end. Mateo on the opposite end comes back with a massive save of his own. And something you've mentioned, Sin, that middle not open for either side. You just feel like one of these two sides are going to have to try to cycle this around to spread things out. They want to open that middle up. Maybe want to go back to it later, but so far forcing it down there just has not worked for either team.
Yassam has it now behind the net to Alex, who goes back in front, and GIFU somehow takes that away. There was space on that short side, but he made the stop.
Man, we have seen some spectacular goaltending so far tonight. I mean, we saw it in our first series. We saw it really in the first few minutes of this game. We're continuing to see it right now. I mean, just both of these goaltenders continuing to make saves, but Lugano starting to create a little bit of pressure, starting to get some shots on net.
That one kept in for the moment, but Kale will have it, and he'll just be content killing off the remainder of this period. And the first period ends scoreless there. Not a high volume of chances really for either side. A couple big ones here and there, but both teams seemingly wanting that, forced pass through the middle, but both defenses defending it well right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've been trying to get that into the slot, and it just hasn't really been there. I think that both teams kind of knew that was going to be maybe the strategy coming in, maybe knowing that that's what they like to do, because remember, they haven't played yet so far this season, so there can often be that kind of feel-out period, and I feel like we maybe saw that over the first few minutes of this game, and we're going to have to see which team is able to adjust first, because right now, neither side's really to find anything in the slot to go for them. So we'll see which team is able to make that adjustment offensively, but so far, defense and goaltending is stolen the show here early.
Yeah, and the face-off advantage heavily in the favor of Lugano here, but they haven't been able to get a whole lot of offense from it, just the one shot at the end of the first period. So again, both these teams maybe want to shoot it a little bit more. Again, this is NHL 24. Shooting pucks on net is highly beneficial, especially when it comes to getting that full pressure. Another face-off one for Krinke there. Yassam will take that one in deep and are now on the point. Good cycle so far, and a quick shot on. Trying to test that short side again. See if they could get GIFU moving laterally.
I think this is what you have to do here if you're Lugano. Just try to test that goaltender in GIFU. See maybe if there's any holes in that short side. You see a lot of times where that puck can go in if the goalie is caught just a little bit off of that post. I like the attempt there.
Face off one now for Opera. Niskalaukos coming the other way. Sauces it behind the net. Persuiti has it. Sends it back to the point to MCH. Trying to go back down low. Disrupted by the winger. But Niskalaukos, one-time shot by Sile there. Nice quick pass, but no traffic in front. Persuiti now behind the net to Niskalaukos. Back up top. MCH has that one taken away. Alex coming back the other way. Has to deal, though the full pressure was just activated, so he didn't quite have the skating speed that he needed to break away.
Massive play there. It just goes to show how sometimes just unrelenting offense can reward you on defense, especially with this new system.
Big pass up. Persuiti with some space. The poke and choke, but a huge save by Mateo. Reuschner got beat, but Mateo saved the day. Now pass up, numbers coming back the other way. Alex has it now. Can't get the pass away. Maybe an ill-advised first pass there for Yassam. He had the step in that situation. Big hit at the line by Alex. He loves to throw his weight around. And a one-time opportunity there from Persuiti, but Mateo made the stop.
We're seeing the offense start to flow a little bit here, Sin. Both teams starting to open up some opportunities, going away from those passes down the middle and looking for more plays to the outside. One-timers, short-side shots. Now you maybe wonder what it's going to take for one of these two teams to break one open. Don't be surprised if you maybe see a rebound at one point as well. Those are plays that can work as well when you shoot from the outside like that.
Kale gets it off the face-off. His shot attempt is blocked. Yassam gets crushed there, but the forecheck unable to get the puck back. Good passing through the neutral zone. Yassam has it. He tries the far side. That one's blockered aside by GIFU. One-time attempt from the blue line and broken stick. He can't go get a new one as the rush comes back the other way. But a good job to stop it and finally be able to go and get a new stick. Actually, it looked like he got one from the winger there. A pass in front right there. Alex had a new stick, was looking to break it in with a nice goal, but couldn't get that pass. Yassam behind the net. Alex will get it. He shoots and scores! Once again, no shot is a bad shot. Puck's on net. Good things happen. Alex goes barring in, and Lugano opens up the scoring.
And how about it, Sin? We just talked about how you take shots from that short side. You never know when you might get rewarded because it only takes being a little bit outside of positioning, covering that post for that puck to squeak its way in. And that's exactly what happened there on that play. Alex gets that puck. It didn't look like GIFU was covering it poorly. He just wasn't covering it to the fullest extent. And Alex able to just kind of squeak that one past him and put the puck in. Again, both teams kind of abandoning the middle, favoring those shots to the outside. Lugano gets rewarded with a goal.
And now they're going to have a power play as well as MCH hit the eventual puck recipient a little bit before he got the puck. That will be an interference. So Opera Hockey now going to be shorthanded after just surrendering a goal.
And man, how the tides can turn so quickly in these games. It went from a back and forth contest where it was really even between these two teams to Lugano getting the first goal and now getting a power play immediately after.
NR has it off the face-off. Will get to work with his team. Yasum kicks it back up top. Good passing so far. Maybe a little bit of overpassing there as they eventually just turned it over. Reuschner has it now, looking to regain the line. His pass broken up, and that actually leads to an offside here. So not the start to the power play that Lugano would have wanted here.
Yeah, not the ideal start at all. And something to remember, Sid, is that Upper, they are one of the top penalty kills that you will find. 89% so far on the season on the PK. So this is not going to be an easy task whatsoever for Lugano to score on them.
And once you give up that zone the first time, can be difficult to regain it, as you see an excellent poke check from Niskalaukos to break it up again. Now approaching the 30-minute mark of this main advantage of Lugano doesn't have a thing to show for it, and they get forced offside once again.
Yeah, and just again, we said it's going to be a tough task for them to score, and right now it's just a tough task for them to find their way into the offensive zone, just really not able to generate much offensive pressure here on the power play, which is surprising. They looked better on 5-on-5 than they have so far with the man advantage.
Now coming back, trying to gain the line. The power play will expire now. Man out of the box for Lugano. Good one-time attempt. Blocked in front by Sile. Looked like a lot of space on the left-hand side of the net. Yasum coming back in. Beats one. Goes to the middle. Trinke had it there. Another penalty. Opera will be sitting again. They had a good first penalty kill, but you don't want to tempt fate too often.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Upper maybe playing with fire a little bit here. You kill off the one penalty, you do so rather successfully, but you put another one out there, and it's like, man, this is still a really good Lugano power play. They're 25% this season, so I know you have a good penalty kill, but your strength is also their strength. Lugano can score, and especially if they start to find their way here in the offensive zone.
Good set play off the face-off. Gets a shot from the point. Forces out a save from GIFU, and see that pressure meter about halfway full now. So if Lugano are able to win another face-off, get a few more chances, we could see that full pressure come into play. We saw it in the last matchup, actually contributing to a goal for GIFU Hockey. So Alex has it now in the slot. He gets knifed away, though. Just active sticks all over the place for Opera Hockey.
Something to remember, too, the back-to-back PKs mean a lot less energy for Opera to have.
Yasum now has it, takes it into the corner. Shot attempt from NR at the point that got blocked. Another trip here. That's Kalle going to the box, and Opera getting into trouble here with their discipline.
Yeah, it feels a lot like what we saw from Athletic Bulls in the overtime of game number 2, and this is an Opera side to where, you know, they came in with 92 penalty minutes. That's around halfway point in the league and in their group, but the last thing you want to do is to take so many penalties like this down by 1 with a Lugano team that, once again, is good on the power play.
And they do win another face-off. Kirshner coming up. NR drops it back, Krinke creeping, and goes to Alex! Oh, he just didn't have the angle, but that was a beautiful play.
Pretty play, and if he's about 2 or 3 inches to the left, it's a pretty goal there, Sid. I think that was perfectly set up. You said it perfectly, just didn't have the angle to bury that in past GIFU.
Nice keeping right there from Krinke, denies the clear. NR gets it right back to him. An umbrella setup with Krinke actually taking the top of it here. Another save forced out from GIFU. And again, a face-off win now will give full pressure to Lugano.
And remember, Krinke, we talked about him being 4% less on the face-offs against Niskalauskas, but Pursuti at the dot says Niskalauskas is in the box.
He goes with a tie-up, and MCH will just carry it all the way out of the zone. He has a breakaway! Oh, and a good save by Mateo as MCH went for the forehand, but that was a surprising turn of events. Power play not over. They are back to 5-on-4. A D-to-D one-timer. GIFU makes the save.
And that looked like that could have been a goal right there on both sides. The great breakaway that leads to a save by Mateo. And then on that one-timer, it looked like there was some room on that left side, but GIFU able to just extend that glove side to avoid it being a 2-0 game.
Back to the point now. Again, nearing full pressure for Lugano. NR goes to the middle, and they do have it now. Krinke steps up. A good blocker save forced out. Krinke still has it. One-time look. That one turned aside as well by GIFU, and eventually they get the clear all the way up to Kala, who's fresh out of the box. He gets a shot on, but Mateo takes that one away.
Man, what action we've gotten this second period, Sid. Just back and forth. The chances feel like they kind of just come out of nowhere more times than not. And it almost happened again there for Opera. Almost similar to the breakaway they had where they create the turnover, they clear it out, and just finds his way to the stick of the right guy to where they got an opportunity.
Offensive zone draw. Aniska Laukos comes out with the win. Shot from distance there from MCH, turned aside. And Opera has it now down low. Prasuiti's pass looking for the middle. That one's taken away. Full pressure established for Opera. Prasuiti trying to go to the middle again. All kinds of traffic, just throws one on. And Mateo forced to make the stop.
Still 7.3 seconds left though here, Sin. So if Opera can find a way to win this face-off, that's enough time for maybe a couple of shots or to get one really good setup here to get that one grand opportunity.
Another face-off win, looking for the one-timer. 3 seconds remaining. Shot deflection, but not enough heat on it. And it'll be blocked aside, and that will do it. For the second period, a lot of power play time for Lugano, but they still only have the one goal in this game.
Yeah, and if Opera ends up winning this game, it feels like those 3 different penalties that they were just able to kill off, that's going to be the one that really switches this game in their favor. It could have easily been 2-0 or 3-0 in favor of Lugano, but they just were not able to take advantage of the power play. The first power play was really all for nothing, and then the last 2 with the 5-on-3 had a couple of chances, but none that were able to beat GIFU, who did a good job really standing tall and keeping this at a 1-score game. So for Lugano, missed opportunity, and considering all that power play time, Sid, kind of surprising to see how even these stats are. Opera still holding their own, seeming to get a little bit of the better of Lugano on the 5-on-5, while for Lugano, that power play time may be inflating so that time on attack and the shots on net that they've gotten.
Yeah, absolutely here, but they do still have that slim 1-0 lead, and despite having a bunch of teams with prolific goal-scoring tendencies in today's matchup, it's really been all about defense and goaltending to the surprise of many, and I'm sure much to the chagrin of GIFU in the last matchup. And for Opera right now, they got to find a way to test Mateo a little bit more here in this third period to try to get this game all tied up. They win the face-off once again. And a good zone entry there. Yasim, though, picks it up. Off the deflection, Krinke coming back now for Lugano. His shot, maybe looking for a rebound, but that was quite high. Alex now goes in front, trying to L-skate his way to the middle, deflected on, hits the post!
Wow. Literal inches from a goal right there for Lugano, and the post denies them. They say a post is a goalie's best friend, and Grace, who's been amazing all game, a little bit of fortune on his side on that play right there.
Full pressure established now for Lugano. Yasim shot, he scores! Great job just to maneuver his way to a shooting position and let that one rip. Lugano makes it 2-0.
And now the pressure goes to Opera Hockey down by 2, and Lugano getting that early goal to get the momentum here to start this third period. And it all happens right on that tie-up play for the face-off. We see so many times where plays start right there, but typically it's going from side to side, setting up that one-timer. That really started off from picking the puck up and starting a cycle from the point and then just working their way down. So Lugano with that tie-up play, a little bit unorthodox from what you'd usually see, cleared up some space to get that shot on, and it gives them that 2-goal lead.
Opera are gonna have to get to work quickly here. And there they go, huge hit, but Mateo's able to smother that one and nullify any coming danger.
Yeah, good thing Mateo was able to scoop that up because there was a body in front there for Opera to maybe pick that puck up and get a quick shot on net that may have beaten them. There was no traffic defensively around Mateo on that play, so it was really just going to be him and the shooter if he wasn't able to pick that one up, but luckily for him, he did. Still some work to do defensively with the defensive zone faceoff.
Kale out for the draw. Can't get that one in, but here come Lugano back the other way. Yasim just rips that one on, and why not? GIFU tries to play that out, but Alex gets it back. He has a desperation attempt after getting bodied off the puck. Back the other way, come Opera. Kale in the corner with it. Goes in front to Niskalaukaus. Now Persuiti has it behind the net. Support there from Kale. They're just trying to get some kind of chance on. Niskalaukaus opts not to shoot. Passes back, but no one home. And now a foot race for the puck. Swept up. What a pass by Yasim there, but Krinke can't pull the trigger. GIFU plays it out once again, wanting to keep the ball rolling here. Intercepted at the line by Krinke. He can't get rid of it, though. That's kept in, but Lugano able to get that one right back. Alex takes it in, dodges a hit, though, but he had already made the saucer pass play. A bit unfortunate there.
You tell there's a sense of urgency from Opera right now between GIFU really trying to play the puck out and just the pace right now that Opera is playing with. You can tell they want to get that goal back here as soon as they can, being down by 2.
Hammond to avoid a lot of the pressure coming at them and just calmly break it out. Approaching the midway point of this third period, Lugano still holding on to that 2-goal lead. Kale has it up top, avoids the sticks, now takes it down low. Pass in front there, but nothing home. Alex taking it out. Over to Krinke, his shot goes just wide. And you can see Lugano not really taking any chances, just sending one forechecker down and then immediately backing up. But they're doing a great job in the neutral zone. Krinke has a bit of space. I didn't think anyone was back there at first. Yasim with a shot on, but MCH was indeed there in support. Kale has it now, but in offsides for Opera with 7:33 remaining.
Yeah, and that's why that second goal from Lugano was so big, because you feel a little bit better when there's 7:33 remaining and you're only down by 1, but you have to get 2 goals just to take this game into overtime and to secure yourself a point. So for Opera, they have got to get things going, and they've got to get it going fast.
Dangerous play right there. Alex will be rewarded with a goal, just sauced it towards the net, and I believe MCH colliding with GIFU put that one in.
Well, we said Opera had to get one and get one going fast, and that was not the way they needed to get one. They got one on their own goal, and now you're in a situation where you're down by 3 with not a lot of time remaining, and you just wonder how feasible it really is for them to claw their way back into this game with the little time that's left. So Lugano, a fortunate goal, but one that they'll certainly take and not complain about, up by 3 and in control now of this game. Really just have to keep Opera from getting anything going on the offensive end.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job at the blue line here. Yet another offside forced as time just continues to tick away way too fast for Opera's liking.
And remember, with this new game, that last minute of the third period is not a full-time minute anymore either. So rather than the full 6 minutes and 19 seconds, realistically, you're looking more like 5 minutes here for Opera. So just something there to keep in the back of your mind.
Niskalaukaus now sent over to Kale. His shot, it gets its way through, but the goaltender Mateo there to stop it. Alex trying to get that one out, scramble along the blue line. Yasim finally gets it. Krinke will reset, and a good job of navigating their way out. Yasim now takes it down, head of steam, trying to get a shooting location. Can't quite pull the trigger, so he got disrupted by the defenders of Opera. Kale now has it. Nice sauce pass over to Sile. His drop pass, though, taken away by Alex and quickly turned up the ice. Yasim bumped from behind, but time keeps ticking away, and at this point it's miracle time for Opera as they go offside yet again.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it, Sid. It is, it's going to be a miracle and a few prayers that are going to have to be answered here for Opera to try to find their way back into this contest, down by 3 with really less than 2 minutes remaining with that fast minute upcoming. So we'll see what they can pull off, but I'm not optimistic for them.
Yasim's able to clear that one away. Time becoming the biggest, or has already been the biggest factor now in just dire situation, but Opera just cannot get established over the blue line here as Krinke gets that one in deep. We are in the last 30 seconds now of real time. But that should just about do it. It's just about killing the time now if you're Lugano. Maybe even going for another goal just to pad some stats. A one-time look right there. Yasum just behind him. Alex now in deep with his winger partner. They're just trying to kill off the remaining seconds as we have 8 left. Taken away at the line once again. And that will just about do it. Crushed at the line. Mateo will get credit for the shutout, his 3rd of the season. And Lugano eSports with a huge 3 points in this 3-0 victory.
Well deserved for Mateo, who really stood on his head during the early goings of this game, where it felt like Opera really had the better of Lugano, but it was the penalties, I feel like, earlier in this game where Opera killed them all off. They were still only down by 1. Lugano wasn't able to get a power play goal on 3 chances. You're like, okay, this is where Opera, one of the highest scoring teams in the league, is going to be able to push through, and it just never really happened for them. Lugano really took that 3rd period over to where it was up for grabs, and Opera never had many answers for it. So gonna be interesting to see how this next game goes, but Sin, the number 1 seed in group number 2, gets knocked down, and they got knocked down pretty convincingly there towards the end of that game. So gonna be a lot of fun to see the response here, and if there's anyone that loves to see that, it's Arctic and Purification, who are right behind them, have some games in hand, and just saw Opera Hockey drop 3 points and come out with none. So massive, massive game there for Opera as well, for a couple of the teams behind them, still trying to gun for that number 1 spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, a huge win for Lugano here is, I'm sure throughout at least towards the end of the cast, we'll be able to get an updated look at the standings once these games are in the book. But for now, we're going to take a brief break to hear a word from our sponsor. So thanks, and don't go anywhere.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, we are back here. And of course, don't forget to tune in tomorrow for a more elite action as Mayhems take on Tunnel Vision and Jyväskylä take on H-Reds. But we are here for our fourth and final game of the broadcast, a second game of two between Opera Hockey and Lugano eSports, where maybe to the surprise of some, Lugano eSports picked up a 3-0 shutout over Opera Hockey and a full 3 regulation points.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have thought that Opera would have been a little bit more successful offensively. Obviously, Lugano, a very good team in their own right, trying to vie for some extra points to move their way up the playoff ladder. But I think the story in that game was just how little Opera Hockey were able to get things going offensively, really in the latter half of that game. Lugano, on the other hand, were able to find ways to score. They were able to earn opportunities. You got to give them a lot of credit for what they were able to do. Now the question is, how are both these two teams going to adjust based on that first game?
We'll see exactly what they do. I think one of the keys for Lugano especially, stay out of the box as they did in that first one. They get a huge opportunity. 2 shots on. That GIFU keeps out, but a hot start for Lugano here, trying to open up the scoring early. Niskalaukos coming back for Opera Hockey. Persuiti kicks it up top, and now back to him in the corner. He takes a shot on secondary opportunity. Mateo keeps both of them out, but good starts offensively for both clubs.
Boy, these two teams did not waste any time getting right out of the gate. Multiple opportunities, and just like the last game, Sid, both Mateo and GIFU making big saves.
MCH now on the point. Oh, a one-timer goes off the bar. Full pressure established. Lugano got to clear the zone here. Alex does, gets it up to Yasum. They have it out of the zone for enough time. They'll negate the full pressure at least. But Opera back in possession now. Saucer pass over, intercepted by Yasum. And he can't go any further with it as Opera has it right back. MCH over to Persuiti ahead of steam, trying to cut to the middle. Oh, what a save by Mateo!
Oh my goodness, an unreal save by Mateo on a picture-perfect opportunity there for Opera Hockey. They look like they have a lot more juice right now in this game compared to the last one, but Mateo just denying them on what was a great chance.
One time from the point gets blocked in the high slot. Krinke over to Alex. Now he takes a shot. That's also blocked. Back up top. NR has it. His shot. Oh, the rebound somehow kept out by GIFU. Both goaltenders busy early on. Kali taking it down. Pass. And Mateo will make the save. We do apologize. We had a slight freeze on our end, but Mateo does cover.
Man, Sin, I mean, if you blink or turn around, you'll miss an opportunity. It feels like both these two teams, the minute they get into the offensive zone, they are testing the goaltender with something, and it's typically been a pretty strong opportunity.
MCH now has it. A good poke right there, and they won't be able to get full pressure this time. Alex, though, fumbles the puck a little bit in the neutral zone. That leads to an offside.
Yeah, you maybe wonder if Alex was thinking about passing it over to Yasum. He was always a step behind Yasum, but I think he just was hesitant, thinking that if he passed it, it would have been a hit or a poke check immediately. So you take the offsides rather than the turnover in that situation.
Alex kicks it back up top to the point. NR goes back to Alex on the half wall. He'll get that down low, trying to feed that one in front. Kreuzner has it now. His pass was intercepted, but Yasum got it right back. Nice between the legs, deep, but he can't retrieve the puck down low after he was bumped off. Kale now has it down the left wing side, stops along the half wall, trying to get to the middle, but well defended in the slot by Krinke. Kale back to the point now. Good step in and a nice attempt at a one-touch towards the middle, but it was broken up. Another look for the one-timer. That one's intercepted by NR, who smartly gets the puck out, but Opera swarming right now. They go offside, though, with 9:10 remaining in the first.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say, Sin, that this is the best we've seen Opera so far in either of these two games. They are just buzzing right now in the offensive zone, but Lugano, give them some credit as well. They have been able to counter with some offensive generation of their own, and you just get the feeling that that first goal has got to be coming soon with as much pressure as both of these teams are applying.
Kreuschner with a nice pass attempt to Yasim, but he can't quite get it. Opera will have it back. Niskalaukos up to Persuiti, bullies his way past one, trying to go through a second, but Krinke there takes it away. He has the puck now coming back. Has to avoid a big hit at the blue line, and Lugano gonna have to reset. Kreuschner now over to Alex. His pass to the middle. Krinke does get a shot away. I thought he had it poked out of his reach, but still went on net, and GIFU had to be sharp.
Yeah, he did have to be sharp there, and man, I mean, what do you have to do to get a goal around here? It feels like both of these two teams are getting great opportunities. They're just being denied by defense and goaltending every single time.
Face off one by Niskalaukos. Kalle trying to get that one in, and good puck shot by Kreuschner there, who retrieves the puck as well. Krinke over to Alex. Beautiful saucer pass. Yasim, though, has it poked off his stick. Alex gets it back off of the bump. Trying to go down low, intercepted by Sile. Opera trying to navigate out of their own zone now as MCH has it. Pass up to Persuiti, but way too much traffic. They'll reset in their own zone. That one intercepted again by Yasim. And Opera having a heck of a time trying to gain the offensive zone here. Kreuschner now has it, looking to get away over the blue line. Yasim takes it now, has some space, spin move, gets bumped towards the goaltender, and actually, there's going to be a penalty on it. I wonder if it was him for colliding with the goaltender. That's going to be interesting to see the call on this one. But no, it's actually Kreuschner on the point, and I didn't see the infraction. Did you, Brandon?
No, I honestly didn't. We'll get the replay of it here, and oh yeah, it was right there. Maybe a little bit of a belch at the end of that play. That was quite the reaction to a light bump, but nevertheless, Opera are going to get on the power play, and we've not really seen them on the power play at all so far today. They're a good team on that.
Yeah, they had like a 30+%, if I recall correctly. We got to see them go to work. MCH in possession, switches with his defensive partner. They play catch along the blue line. Shot from distance, though, blocked by his own teammate Persuiti, and Lugano will be able to clear that out.
Second highest percentage in the league since 32.
Kalle now able to gain the line, passes to Niskalaukos. He drops it back. The point man Sile will get it. MCH to Niskalaukos. He has that one poked away. Alex trying to clear, but a little bit soft on that. Persuiti with a backhand chance from point-blank range. Denied by Mateo. A massive save at the tail end of that period, where we will remain without a score.
Absolutely ridiculous from Mateo. What a save to end the period. We see so many times where goals at the first minute or last minute of a period can just be such a big momentum shifter, but saves can do just as much. I mean, that would have been a power play goal. Opera would have gone into the period leading by one, all the momentum on their side, but Mateo, as you mentioned, at a point-blank spot, denies them, and what a period from Opera. I mean, they looked like a completely different team there from what we saw there in Game 1.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. They just had so much more jump in their step, and, you know, when they were in the offensive zone, they weren't just, you know, softly trying to force the middle. They were working the outside and then able to get, you know, open up some space in the middle, but Mateo made some fantastic stops for Lugano there. GIFU did just the same on the opposite side, though, with a little bit less volume, but still some power play time for Opera here. They do win the face-off and will get it in the zone and get themselves set up quickly here. Sile trying to move to the middle. Oh, Persuiti had a chance at it. Got knocked down. Alex now has the puck in some trouble, and a goal is saved by Mateo. Kalle didn't get all of it. Kreuschner now joining the rush. He sent that one wide. Alex will collect it in the corner, has some trouble, but gets it back. Krinke now. Uh-oh, that one's poked away. Persuiti with a chance. Numbers now for Opera. Persuiti over to Kalle, but broken up.
Went for that middle.
Krinke sends it to Yasim. He can't get the shot away, though. Good defense on the back check.
Went for that middle, but again, it just wasn't there. That's been the defensive emphasis for both sides.
What a shot by Sile, joining the rush, getting the pass back, and putting it home on the short side. Opera goes up 1-0.
Man, and the opportunities just come so quickly. We kind of talked about it briefly earlier, but I mean, if you blink, you miss it, feels like. And it looked like Lugano was going to have an offensive zone possession, but a nice job from Opera playing defense, going on the other end, and it turned into a 4-on-3 to where they were just kind of able to pass it between one another to create that space. Got the first shot on net that they could, and were able to beat Mateo, who had looked unbeatable up until this point. And just like that, Opera with a well-deserved 1-0 lead here in the second.
Yeah, Sile did a great job on that from really in their own defensive zone, starting that breakout and then contributing with passes on the rush and then eventually potting that whole that goal home. And right back in on the attack, trying to feed that one in front for Kale. But Opera threatening on all fronts right now, and Lugano a little bit stunned. They're going to have to get back to work. Sile leading the rush, hits Niska Laukaus. He carries it into the zone. Nice stop up. Creeping in, has a shooting lane and picks the corner. What a beautiful individual effort from Niska Laukaus. And Opera Hockey go up 2-0.
Oh, Niskolowski's calling his own number on that play. Took it from the point, drove in himself, and was able to go in and just make that play happen. I mean, he took that all the way from the defensive zone and carried that puck in, and that's what gave Opera that offensive zone opportunity. And then when he got that puck back, no one denying him on that play. Just an amazing move from Niskolowskis, a snipe to beat Mateo, and all of a sudden, Opera controlling this game.
Sweetie has that one taken, but the hit attempt actually turned into a dump the other way, and Lugano will ice the puck here. So Opera Hockey beginning to snowball here as they'll get an offensive zone draw.
It's funny how things can change in just the drop of a dime, Sid. It went from an even contest to Opera really just having all the momentum. If they get a third one here, I think Lugano's going to have to call a timeout to settle it down.
Oh, a shot from distance there got deflected and just sailed over the net. Things are getting dangerous here for Lugano here. Let's see what they can do in response. Yasim trying to take that one in, but it's taken away. Good pass up to Praswiti. It finds him. Trying to cut to the middle with a little stop-and-go play, but it got knocked off of his stick. Kreuzner now joining the rush. Poked away immediately. Kale sending that one up for Perswiti, who will chase that one down in the corner and retrieve it. Pass out to Niska Laukaus, who can't quite get the shot away. Krinke coming back. Pass over to Yasim. Between the legs, Deke. Back up top to the point. Now has it again down low. Alex's attempted pass got broken up, and Kale coming back the other way now for Opera. Perswiti in the corner. Niska Laukaus maybe looking for a shot right there, but had a guy right in his grill. Huge hit from NCH there. And they are going to be able to turn it around. Thought for a second they'd have a chance. MCH, no, windmill Deke to the middle, but just out of his own reach. Pass back. Sile will pick it up on the point. One-timer there from Perswiti, who is covering for MCH, but the puck did not reach goal. But it's all Opera Hockey right now. Lugano just cannot get established in the offensive end. Nice delay and pass there. Niska Laukaus has it. But this time poked away as he tried to navigate towards the middle of the ice. Krinke now down low. Yasim trying to short side play. Alex has it behind the net. Tried to pass out front, but too much traffic there. Sile carrying it out once more. Niska Laukaus has some support. He hits the broken stick with the attempted pass, though. Sends it down low. Perswiti will get it. Sile activating from the point. Gets it poked away by Alex. Yasim coming back the other way. Krinke picks it up. Pass attempt to Alex. Bouncing around. No one can get to it, but Kale eventually does. Sends that one out, but maybe ill-advised. Kreuzner coming in with it. Kreuzner looking for the pass attempt. No one was home. Elected not to shoot, but may have had an opportunity there. Kale now taking it back. Nice sidestep move, but the pass after that got broken up. The second period seemingly has just flown by here, nearing the end of it. Krinke trying to pass to the middle, but it's just not there. You got to think at some point, Lugano just got to start ripping shots on. Yasim now, L skating, spinning. Oh, what a save by Gresu there. The one time for Alex was labeled for the top shelf.
Oh, man, he had a goal right there, but Gresu denying him once again. That's the second or third time this game where we've seen him just pretty much rob Lugano of a clear-cut opportunity where it looked like it would be a goal. What a big save there for Opera Hockey.
Face off now. One by Opera. They should be able to at least clear the rest of the period off, but they want another chance. They won't get it right there. Alex to Krinke, but they can't keep it in the zone, and the second period will end. Opera Hockey, a 2-0 lead, and having Lugano against the ropes.
And boy, did they have to fight to do so. It did not come easy at all for Opera Hockey, but able to kind of grind their way through and finally able to get some opportunities that they were able to capitalize on. And maybe the prettiest of them right there, that goal, that snipe from Niskalauskas. And really for Lugano, I don't think that they haven't had opportunities. They haven't had as many as Opera Hockey have. It hasn't been as consistent, but it feels like each of their 4 shots have been rather dangerous. All of them feel like they could have been in the back of the net. I think the only criticism that you really have of Lugano right now is you have to try to put the puck on net a little bit more. They got rewarded for it in game 1. Not really sure why they've gone away from it here in game 2. When they put the puck on net, they typically were able to find their way to a goal. This feels like they haven't done so often enough, so we'll see if they make that adjustment, but nevertheless, Opera Hockey in a very good position right now.
Yeah, exactly where they'd want to be in response after that first game. And yeah, it's tough. You know, sometimes it's the mental thing. You know, you go down in a game and all of a sudden you feel like you have to get that perfect opportunity. But for Lugano here in this third period, I think they just got to keep testing GIFU here. Oh, that's a good intercept from Alex, but unfortunately still had a teammate that hadn't tagged.
Yeah, you know, we talked a little bit about Alex earlier, all the experience that he has in the elite division, coming down with Lugano in the pro division. Maybe he doesn't have the numbers that people would have expected, but it feels like he has been all over the ice so far for this team today. It feels like whenever he's had the puck on his stick, something positive has come out of it every single time.
2 goals in the last game. Yasim, nice job to get towards the center of the ice, but couldn't get any further there. Sweetie trying to gain the line. Alex will get it in the neutral zone. Nowhere to go, though. Gets bodied by Sile. Pass up. Sweetie has it now. Bunch of collisions in the corner there. As finally Lugano able to get that one out. Yasim just trying to turbo his way up the middle, but not a whole lot of space. Sweetie beats one, but draws the call. Niskalauskas has it in the corner. We're going to see another Opera power play. Sile has it now along the half wall and into the corner. Gets body, but Niskalauskas in support, sent to the middle, and it'll be touched up here. There's a tripping call by Reuschner. He'll be sitting again.
Yeah, and unfortunate there for Reuschner is, you know, those are the penalties, those are the tripping calls that you really hate to make, is when you get beat and you try to poke from behind. Looked like he may have had his stick over on the side there, so I don't think the positioning was really what was wrong. I think just the animation with the way that stick went drew that tripping animation, so unfortunate for him, but their misfortune is opportunity here for Opera Hockey.
Sile has that one poked off his stick. MCH now pass over to Persweety. Oh, he didn't get a clean look from it. And Krinke there, I think, went for a reverse hit, turns the puck over. Now it's full pressure for Opera. Kalle over to Niskalauskas. MCH, quick passing here from Opera. They get the shot with traffic. Oh, crashing the net there. Kalle just couldn't quite get to it. Finally cleared out by Lugano.
Nice possession, though, for Opera. Great cycle, had a good opportunity, just didn't find its way to the net.
MCH, his shot blocked. Niskalauskas tries to go for that short side. Persweety behind the net, battling for it. Alex does get that one out. Yasim's dead tired. He doesn't clear it far enough down the ice, though. Sile dodges one, dodges two. Whoa, what a save by Mateo!
How about Mateo? He did not move even an inch on that play, and it's funny because I don't think Sile expected him to not move on that play. He had the left side open, thought he was going to skate to the left. He just didn't. He stayed square where he was and ended up making the save because of that.
What an individual effort by Sile. Unfortunately for him, met his match in Mateo, but Opera Hockey continuing to just pour it on here. Passed up. Alex trying to go back to Yasim, and that's another trip. Gotta be careful, though, as that one went dangerously close into GIFU here, but yet another power play for Opera, and the wheels are beginning to fall off for Lugano.
Yeah, and you just killed off one penalty, and it took everything for you to do so. And just a minute and a half later, you take another penalty, and now you have to do the same exact thing. It's a strong upper to power play. So, we talked about it earlier. You keep playing with fire, eventually you're going to get burned. Lugano can't afford to allow another goal. If Opera gets a third, that could very well put this thing away.
They do win the face-off. Persuiti will have it and kick back to Sile on the point. Niskalaukos back to Sile. Oh, had some space. The follow-up chance kept out by Mateo as well. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Alex the Krinke trying to go back to Alex, but a good defensive play by MCH to break it up. And Opera coming back the other way here on the man advantage. MCH stops at the blue line with Persuiti. They have a bit of a miscommunication there and clear the puck on their own.
What a read, though, by MCH defensively. They have saved a potential goal there.
Reuschner pass up to Alex. He has that one taken away. Kalle now. Pass to Persuiti, but he's just a step off.
I know I kind of gave Lugano a hard time there a few minutes ago, but give them some credits, and they really are killing off this power play of Opera Hockey, and there's not a lot of time left on it. So if they can kill off the next 19 seconds, 8 minutes, not an easy task, but they still find themselves squarely in this game if they can continue this kill.
NR has it up to Krinke. They keep trying to counterattack shorthanded, and obviously they feel like they have to with the time remaining, approaching the 8-minute mark here. And Opera has it right back in the offensive zone, quickly taken away though. NR over to Reuschner and back to him. Reuschner does gain the line, pass over to Yasim. He can't get the shot away. NR just can't keep that puck in the zone.
Man, and Lugano trying to counter right after getting all 5 guys back out on the ice, and it just feels like they've not really given themselves an opportunity to get into the offensive zone. When they've had some chances, they've taken penalties, and when it's been 5-on-5, it feels like Opera has really kind of controlled most of the possession time, which benefits them being up by 2 and with time starting to wear thin here on Lugano.
Kalle takes that one in after the pass from MCH, and trouble for Lugano to try to get that one out. They finally do. Yasim gets crushed at the blue line by Persuiti. And much like it was in the first game, with Opera being unable to gain the line, Lugano finding themselves in that situation. Niskalaukos, hits the post with the shot. Went backhand, had Mateo beat, but he ringing off the iron. That would have been the death knell, I think, in this game had he scored. Lugano, though, time against them. Trying to work this one in. Alex's pass intercepted. Niskalaukos over to Persuiti. Bumped in the back here. Turned back the other way. Somehow Yasim didn't grab that puck. It was a soft enough pass. Kalle over to Niskalaukos. He turns towards and they just get this one down low. Probably content to just kill as much time as they can. Persuiti now behind the net, looking for the wrap, gets the backhand off, turned aside by Mateo. Kalle now sending it back up top, but time is just ticking away. Great work from Opera Hockey. Kalle, toe drag shot, saved by Mateo.
I consider pulling here.
Yeah, they got to get this up the ice quickly as well, and they go offside. 27.1 remaining.
Yeah, and right now, I think if you're Lugano, you've got to consider pulling Mateo out. You have nothing to lose. You're down by 2. There's only 27 seconds remaining. Allowing a goal doesn't hurt your chances because you're on tap to lose anyways. You have a better chance of hoping that he can come out, make an impact with the extra man and getting a goal, and then trying to pull him again and just keeping him out there and staying down by 2. The difference between a 2-goal loss and a 3-goal loss means nothing. I'm really surprised they don't pull Mateo here.
Face off 1. Krinke can't quite get that in. They do poke that away. Krinke over to Alex. He can't quite get the stick on it. Does have it down low. Back up top. NR to Alex. A big save by GIFU. That should just about do it for this one. A trip being called, and that indeed will. Opera Hockey back to the power play. 8.5 seconds left and an offensive zone face-off.
Oh man, how good has GIFU been in this contest all game long? It just feels like he has stepped up at the biggest points. Whenever Lugano finally was able to sustain some pressure and they got a clear-cut opportunity, which they've had some, GIFU denied them every single time. He does so again, pretty much killing any chance of a comeback.
NR just trying to safely kill the game at this point behind the net, but Niskalaukos not done. Sile trying to get one more shot away. And that will do it. A pair of shutouts, one for each goaltender. This time, it's GIFU picking it up, and well earned with some of those late, huge saves that he made in desperation time for Lugano, but a huge 3 regulation points for Opera Hockey.
And how about that for Opera Hockey after dropping that first game in a fashion that I'm sure they weren't happy with, a fashion that they're not used to, getting shut out. They come back and respond with a shutout of their own. And for a team that, again, is vying for the #1 seed in the Pro Division, you have to be able to respond. Not every game is going to go perfectly. Not every game is going to go your way. You're going to have to find ways to respond to that adversity. And for Opera Hockey, when things weren't working for them in the first game, I mean, we saw them come in the game too, and they were really firing away from puck drop and never looked back so far in this contest. So give them a lot of credit for how they were able to respond. Not a bad performance from Lugano, but just not enough opportunities, some penalties that really kind of hurt them a bit as well. I mean, you're not going to win many games with just 5 shots on net in 60 minutes. That's really kind of what it comes down to for Lugano, and it felt like they had more than that, but it's just going to be hard to win games at this level when you don't have opportunities, especially when you're playing a team like Opera. So not the result Lugano wanted, but hey, both teams get 3 points. Both teams kind of creep their way up the standings just a little bit. It's going to be fun to see how it shakes out here over the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. As the season, of course, winding down, coming to a close here, and playoffs will be around the corner, so to speak, as we'll get a few looks, at the replays. This is that beautiful goal from Niskalauskas here.
Yeah, and I mean, he just kind of carried it himself and called his own number. And this is the one play, I think, defensively that Lugano really was going to want to have back. You never want to allow a skater to have that much space in the slot. I mean, Niskalauskas was never even really contested whatsoever on that drive to the net. They kind of continued to back up and back up and back up in front of Mateo, and they never really contested it. And unfortunately for Lugano, it ended up in that goal. They were never able to respond, but give Niskalauskas a lot of credit to be able to snipe that in past Wolves, a really hot goaltender all night long, Mateo.
Yeah, it felt like he beat his man up high, and the rest of Lugano was just so busy chasing the pass options that they forgot about Niskalauskas, just waltzed into the slot and ripped that one home. But that will do it for today's coverage of the ECL Pro. Some exciting games, not the amount of goals that maybe we expected from any of them, but definitely not short on action, and the goaltenders stood tall and really were the stars of today here. So we'll get a quick look at the standings before we wrap things up here, and hopefully that last game is indeed reported. I'm not too sure if it will be quite yet. Doesn't look like it, but Opera will have 68 points to finish off the season. Still possible for them to be caught, maybe, but most likely by purification, but they have put themselves in a great spot.
Yeah, and we talk about all the time how important playoff positioning can be, and for Opera, that's massive for them to be able to collect points, and it looks like they also have games in from their first series as well, so really, it's only purification, I think, that really has a chance of catching them. I'm not sure the opponents that Arctic are going to be playing, but with purification having 8 games in hand, I think they're really probably the biggest threat to Opera not having that #1 seed, but they've done their work. They've done all they can do. Now they just have to sit back, watch, and hope that some of the results can fall their way, but a nice cushion that they've built themselves up here.
Yeah, absolutely. So that will indeed do it for us here at SportsGamer. Of course, we thank you all for tuning in, and don't forget, tomorrow we have more elite action for you. Mayhems taking on Tunnel Vision, and then Jyväskylä taking on H-Red. So that is up tomorrow. Don't miss it. 19:45 CET. And it should be a heck of a conclusion, really, to the end of season coverage for the Elite Division. And this was, of course, the conclusion of regular season coverage for the Pro Division playoffs. We'll be up next when we return with coverage. But for now, that will do it for today. For B Major, my name is Sin. We thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.